Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I was having problems with my mic just now. Gary, where you going?
Yeah. Oh.
We're going to do this differently. I'm going to do me match reaction first, and then Gary's going to come on and do his. Right. Okay. Where to start? Well, first of all, 5 months ago, I did a post match reaction after the Everton game, and I've mentioned this over recent weeks as well. What has changed in that time? What has fucking changed? We was in the bottom three then. That was match day 5. And I said, Moyes out, he's got to go. And that wasn't based on 5 bad results. That wasn't based on 5 bad results that season. That was based on the continuation of poor form that I was sick of from the second part of the season before. That's all I was seeing. I was thinking, no, this is terrible. I can see where this is going. And all he's done, it's just got worse. You can say that performances are getting better. Apparently, we turned a corner. You know, that's all we've had it's been getting harder and harder to do this channel lately because yes, I have been banging this Moyes out drum because I believe it. I believe that he's had to go. I believe that he's going to foul because I believe that he's fucking lost it. So yes, I have maintained doing that. And I will always do what's true to me, to be quite honest. It is what I believe is best for West Ham is for David Moyes to go. I could see this coming. But then all we've had, you know, he has a dead cat bounce. We'll scrape a win against Fulham. We'll scrape a win against Everton. And then you've got people coming at you, sniping at you, saying, I told you, he's turning a corner. I've done the Newcastle and Chelsea reviews. People were saying, why aren't you happy? Why aren't you happy? Look how good we was against Newcastle. Look how good we was against Chelsea. That's a great point. And then you go and see fucking Southampton beat Chelsea 1-0. Don't look like such a great point now, does it? And today, yes, we came out the blocks a bit quicker today. We had a good period of I would say about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but we were toothless. Absolutely toothless. I think we had 2 shots in the first half. The first decent shot was the Bowen one in the first couple of minutes. Apart from that, we created fuck all. We were competing all over the pitch for a bit in the first half. We was in the game. We weren't getting outplayed, but we were creating fuck all. Nothing. And in that second half, what was that? Was that David Moyes thinking, oh, I tell you what, I think we've got the point here. I reckon we're all right. I think we've got the point. If we can just hang on for 45 minutes, we'll have another lovely point because you've got to respect the fucking point, ain't you? No, you haven't. Go for the win. That is not a good Spurs team that we was facing. It weren't. We came out, we let them grow into the game. It was one-way fucking traffic. They should have scored 4, 5, 6 goals they could have had. Honestly, it was dog shit. We had no fight. There was no tenacity. It was tepid. It was an awful London derby. You know, and I'm not blaming them for that. We're in the bottom fucking 3, not them. We're in the bottom 3. And we're in that bottom 3 because we deserve to be there. We deserve it. We were shit. And I don't hear no more excuses anymore. He can't have any excuses. We've got no injuries now. We had a brilliant bench. You know, he had all the tools that he needed, to do the job, and he couldn't do it. This is context at the moment doesn't allow us to not go out and try to beat Spurs. Any other game, you think, yeah, all right, fair enough, get a point away at Spurs. We need fucking wins. You've got to go out like our rivals down there are not settling for points. They're going out there trying to win games. That's what you do when you're in a relegation battle. You go out and you try and fucking win. So I don't want to hear this anymore. And yes, that fucking tosser will probably be here on the weekend. And yes, he'll probably scrape a point or scrape a win. And we'll have the same shit with people coming in here again saying, oh, I told you he's turned another corner again. Because that's all we've been... I know I've already said that. But that's all I've heard. He's turned a corner. We're picking up. We're getting better. What's the matter with you? We are in a lower position now than we was at the start of the fucking year. How has he turned a corner? What corners he's turned? He's turned a corner, walks off a cliff. That's what he's done. So no, I'm sorry. We'll analyse the game in more detail at the moment. But Sullivan, please, fucking please, get rid of him before Forest. Give us a fighter's chance of surviving this season. The season is disappearing. It's disappearing. Have a look at the run of games that we've got coming up. Getting a win against Forest means nothing. I don't think we'll beat them anyway. I've got to be honest. I think they'll do us. You know, it weren't like the Everton game where I thought, yeah, You know, Everton will probably beat Everton. I actually think Forest will beat us, but get someone else in or just get him the fuck out. Give us a chance. We're not going into games trying to win them, mate. We're not. You bought him a load of fucking players. You've backed him. He ain't doing a job. Fuck him off. Get rid of him. It ain't working. There's no more excuses now. I'm sick of it. But anyway, look, I'm gonna come off. That's me for a minute. I'm gonna throw Gary up. But no, he's just get him gone. I'm fucked off moaning about him. I'm fucked off having a go at other fans that support him and this, that, the other. He's a divisive man. He's a divisive manager, and it's done. It's dead. What? You know, just sitting there waiting for him to lose 3 or 4 consecutive games until we are 4 points or 6 points. Where, you know, because that's all you hear at the moment as well. Oh, 1 point. 3 points, we're in 15th place, 16th place. Have we got to wait until we're 6 points away from 17th place? Is that what we got to fucking wait for? Is that what £180 million buys you? He's failed. He's already admitted he's failed because he said he's got to go back to what he was doing before, which means he's failed in this project anyway. Get him out. Anyway, I'll see you in a minute.
Right, okay. Well, look, I would laugh, but what is there to laugh about? 3 points out of the last 33. Sorry, 6 points out of the last 33. That is, well, I almost gave us a point for today, but no, it's not. It's 2 points. It's 5 points out of the last 33. This is how frustrated I am. Maths is usually my strong point. Now I can't even fucking add up. Anyway, today was, look, let's face it, it was diabolical. We had a good 20 minutes. But it was everything we expected. It's the same playbook. It's every game that goes wrong under David Moyes. This is how it goes wrong, right? We went at them early on. We tried to play a high line. We tried to, you know, get after them and very nearly scored a goal in the first minute. But that was the end of it. After 20 minutes, that was the end of it. There was nothing else in that game. It was literally, you know, Bowie and flattering to deceive a few times, you know, the odd weren't even a half chance, quarter chance here and there when we happened to throw a man forward or something like that. But let's just look at this. David Moyes is standing over there in the second half looking like someone's stolen his sweets, right? He doesn't know what's happened. We all know what happened because we watched that second half. We could give him a pass in the first half and say, all right, it was okay. The second half, it started off exactly. I mean, it was terrible. It was error strewn from the off, right? I mean, apart from the goals, which were 2 errors, and pretty much every chance they had was 2 errors. The warning signs were there in the first couple of minutes. Minute 47 and 48. You know, so the first couple of minutes of the second half, you had consecutive mistakes by, first of all, Aguerd and then Rice, right? The writing was on the wall from that point. Spurs had come out with their tails up. Moyes did nothing to react to it. He waited to go 1-0 down. Waited. And then if you look a few minutes later, the look on the West Ham players, as soon as they scored that goal, West Ham, we might as well just have declared at that point and said, you know, it's game over because we were not in it anymore. The arse dropped out of our game. We weren't chasing anything. In a sense, in essence, what we've done is we've done what we've done in the last 2 games and lined up away to Spurs. And this is a very beatable Spurs side, might I add. We might have made them look like Brazil in the second half, but they're far away from Brazil. They're not a great side. We've let them off the hook in the same way that we let Chelsea off the hook last week. I don't see that we're going to get a win against Forest. I can't see it. You know. Forest are a team who they go after other teams. They try. Now, what we're going to do next week? Predictions on the back of a postcard. But what's actually going to happen next week is the same as what happened today and last week and the week before. We're going to line up not to lose. If that twat is still there, if Moyes is still there, which he will be, we're going to line up not to lose. And if we do that against Forest, we will get beat. We will get beat. Today hurt. You know, it hurt losing to Spurs. But I'll tell you what, it didn't hurt as much as it usually does. And I think there's a reason for that because, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking it's bloody horrible to lose to Spurs. You know, it's the worst thing in the world. But, you know, at the same time, you know, maybe another defeat, another couple of defeats, David Moyes would be gone. He spent 300 million quid taking us from being, you know, contenders, if you like, semi-finalists in the Europa League. It's taken us from that team He's spent 195 million, including Danny Ings. He spent 300 million overall, and he's taken us into the bottom three. He doesn't know what to do with these new players. He hasn't got a clue what to do. What does he do today? What's the first thing he does? And this is not by no means me having to go at the player, but what's his default position as soon as Paqueta's injured? It's to bring back Souček, right? Souček, there you go in your advanced playmaking position. And you've got to say, for the first 20 minutes, Souček had a good game. In fact, you could say for the first half, he had a good game. Second half, he'd been figured out, and he was snuffed out like the rest of West Ham's ambitions. But when you look at David Moyes, David Moyes has got a very high opinion of himself. And just recently, me and Nick, we've been talking about, the other channels, been quite jealous of the other channels, actually, like Hammers Chat, etc., who've been reacting to David Moyes' latest podcast, because he's made 4 podcasts now, or a mixture of podcasts and articles. And this is David Moyes, who's got such a high opinion of himself. Now, I've got to remind you, when he first came to the club, right, he was boasting. He was saying, right, I'm going to build a new West Ham. We're not going to be flaky old West Ham anymore. We're not going to be the club, the soft touch, right? We're going to get rid of all that. But what he said this week is basically, no, forget that. Forget that idea about not being flaky. You got to expect a relegation struggle, every few seasons as a West Ham fan. Otherwise, you lack football intelligence. So there's another little snide remark that he's made about the fans. He's basically getting his excuses in early, right? The guy's useless, absolutely useless. He's given us a couple of good seasons. I don't understand. I mean, honestly, I can't tell you how I reacted when we were at Derby, 1.2 points outside the relegation zone, and the crowd started singing Super David Moyes. I can't explain to you how that made me feel, because I knew what was coming the next day. All over social media, it's like, well, I told you so. The crowd still backs David Moyes. I've got to say, that ain't my experience or Nick's experience on this channel. You might get the odd person who's still backing David Moyes, but frankly, they're the ones who play by these rules of you've always got to back the manager until they're sacked, then we'll back the next manager. All right, fine, right? But for people to pretend that he's something he's not, like he's actually very successful and the crowd love him. They don't love him. It's just a few of them don't want to have a go at him because he's still the manager, right? How could anybody love that bloke or the way he plays? Another thing, we're looking at his articles this week. He's fantastic. You remember the other week where one of his previous podcasts where he basically said, there's a lot of experts at West Ham when we're talking about Ben Rahman. That was just after the Brentford game. That was basically, like equivalent to Sam Allardyce cup in his ear, right? Well, this week he said, they lack football intelligence in reference to fans who don't understand that West Ham should be struggling every couple of seasons. He doesn't understand West Ham. He refers to West Ham as them. What we've done for them. Aren't you part of West Ham, Dave? Or are you exclusive to that? Is this your project? I don't understand the language. But what he goes on to say is, he actually said, we took them here and there. And about Europe, when you're a club that's never been there, you can't expect anything else. In other words, when you're a club that's never done anything in Europe. And I thought, well, we kind of had, Dave. We've won the Cup Winners' Cup and come runners up in it as well. Does he know this? Does he even know that? Does he bother to know that we've got a history, albeit, not a massively successful one compared to, the big boys, but we've got a very significant history. I find everything he says insulting. I don't like the West Ham manager, and you could say he's just saying this stuff. He's being honest, right? But it's fine as fans to be, a little bit realistic and say, look, it's West Ham. Amongst ourselves, it's West Ham. Is what it is. We can't expect any more. But it's up to the manager to actually raise your hopes and build you up and make you expect more. That is part of his job description, as it is for Mark Noble, the sporting director, someone who in the last couple of weeks has come out and said, well, if you want Champions League, you better go and play for someone else. Right, all of this, it just cheapens the name of West Ham. It cheapens the name of West Ham. But it all boils down to this. 5 points in the last 33. It's not good enough. I don't think we're going to beat Forest. Doesn't matter if we do. He's got to go now. Months and months too late. Anyway, look, that's all I've got to say on that, Nick.
Yeah, okay. No, that's fine. Listen, in the chat, I'm keeping an eye on it. We can't throw the comments up, and most people are feeling the same as us. I'm not expecting people to feel exactly the same as us. But what I'm not expecting is shit like this. Now, we've had this from you before, John McFadden. You've been saying, shut the fuck up. You're talking shit. You're talking shit. Now, I can only imagine that's aimed at us. But what I'm going to say to you is, you shut the fuck up. Offer something, rather than sort of coming in here, saying crap like that, actually tell us why we're talking shit. Because you are one of the only people, well, certainly the only person in this fucking chat that thinks differently. So explain to me why we're talking shit, and explain to me why we're feeling. Explain to me why we're in the bottom three, John. Yeah, explain that.
Honestly, I don't mind. Like I said in my wasn't as much of a rant as yours, but in my what I said, right? But I don't mind if someone is, my support the manager is still a West Ham manager, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But what really hacks me off is when people say, you fucking mug. What are you saying that for? What are you saying that for? You're on the bandwagon taking the piss because with Moyes out. What is there to take the piss out of? He should be gone. He should have been fired before the World Cup. Let's be honest, right? He should have been given life after life after life.
He should have been gone. He should have been gone way before that. He should have. It's fucking. It's a nightmare. The situation is a fucking nightmare. Honestly, it really is.
We are getting relegated, Nick. We are getting relegated.
No, we will get relegated if but that's been the case. I've felt like that for ages.
Yeah.
I've said time and time again. And do you know something? I know you're sure that we'll lose against Forest. I don't think we will. I think there's every chance Moyes will go and get a point against them because he wins these fucking games. He does, but it means nothing. It's a dead cat bounce, and that's all that is.
But we are going down. We're not going to win enough games to stay up. Where's the 5 or 6 wins that we need going to come from? Right? Where pick those games out. I don't think we're going to beat Forest. I don't think we're even going to get a point off Forest next week. Forest next week has got, to me, it's got the idea, what's the thing that usually happens when you can't buy a win or something like that, or you're not playing well? You have to play West Ham, right?
Play West Ham. It's back to that. It's back to that.
And I think, what would be very fitted next week would be Jesse Lingard to score the winner and help David Moyes to lose his job. I mean, how ironic, the man who spent the whole summer chasing Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, look, he's saying we've got no defence apart from the new guy. He spent 30 million on a fucking defender with no knees in Kurt Zouma.
God, really,
he spent 30 million on another injury-prone player who's playing. So we all love Aguirre. He spent 15 million on Kehrer. He spent 300 million in Frick John. He has spent more than Mikel Arteta in the same period.
He's bought 2 30 million quid centre halves in Zouma and Aguerd. He's bought a 17 million wing back in Emerson. He bought Soufal for not very much, 3 million. He bought, how much was Kehrer? What was he, 12 or something? 12 million?
Kehrer was 12 to 15 million. And you got Emerson, who he bought for about 15 million as well.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah. So he has spent money on it.
Or something like that. Yeah. Honestly, the people who say, that was another one of Moyes' excuses, basically pleading poverty and saying, well, we're West Ham. What do you expect? We're West Ham. We're going to struggle against the, every couple of years. You can't expect us to be chasing Europe every year. None of us expect to be chasing Europe every year, Dave. That is not what we expect. Let's be honest. But we do not expect, after being promised a world-class team in a world-class stadium, even though we all know that was bullshit, one thing we did expect was a relegation battle.
But can I ask you something though? Why are we sitting here accepting the fact that David Moyes has until the Nottingham Forest game? We're on 23 games.
Tonight.
No, but what I mean is 23 games have gone. We are in the bottom 3 on merit. All of our relegation rivals are beating teams that we can't beat. They are. Yeah. And we've got double the fucking fixture congestion coming up. That's all of those teams around us because of the Europa League or the Europa Conference League. That's what we've got coming up. So it's only going to get harder. It's not going to get easier. We've got a fucking injury. We can't keep waiting. We can't keep waiting.
What has happened, Nick, in the last couple of weeks is the FA Cup has blurred the lines, right? Because we've had a couple of wins against
Brentford. When that like the Avram season, though? When that like the Avram season?
Yeah, it is. We've had a couple of wins like against Brentford and then against Derby, and that has kind of sweetened the water a little bit. But when you look at the league, I mean, look, let me get my maths right this time. We've drawn 2 games. We've drawn 3 games because it was Fulham and Chelsea and Newcastle. They were the 3 draws, and then we beat Everton, right? You look at all those games, that's out of the last 33 points. That's out of the last 11 games, right? We've actually not achieved anything at all. I mean, what had happened with Newcastle? We got that point without their 2 best players the couple of days after they got into their first cup final in years. So they've probably been out on the lash, right? Chelsea, we saw how good Chelsea were when Southampton turned them over yesterday. So that point last week don't look so good, does it? And a point at home to Fulham is not a good point, really, is it?
Dean's life, he said, it's all, apparently Moyes said in his post-match interview, we did all right today. Fucking hell.
Yeah, he looked dumbfounded on the sideline, like he didn't know what had gone wrong. He was he does this mystified look, we did all right today. No, we didn't do all right today, Dave. You did what you always do. Fucking, you go 1-0 down, you do nothing. You wait for 70 minutes. You put you don't even go for it. You play the miniatures up front. What was the point in that? What was the point in Ings to play alongside Bowen? What was that about?
Look, John McFadden. Listen, mate. This is why I'm going to tell you, you are talking utter shit, right? Because I'm like you, Nick. I get highly strung, but I don't care who we've bought. We have not got a good enough defence. Defence ain't been our issue this year, mate. We've got probably it's the 5th or 6th best defence in the fucking league. Our issue is we can't score. We can't score goals.
No, we can't buy a goal, and it shows. I think they had a point on Sky. They put a stat up comparing last season to this season. You know the big difference is last season we had massive success from set pieces, goals from set pieces. Right? Yeah. We didn't score loads from open play. We scored.
We didn't even look like threatening. We didn't even look like threatening
from open play. But now we are. I mean, we had loads of corners today. So it's clearly the same strategy as last season. Is get some set pieces and get Big Thomas on the end of it, right?
I know.
But the corners are crap. And whoever's taken the corners, they're not doing it very well. They've tried everybody, haven't they? Bowen, Declan Rice. I think Emerson's taken a few corners. The delivery's rubbish, and the people attacking the ball. They're in Graham Souness's words, and I believe this as well. Right? He said last season people were attacking and putting their lives on the line, and I think he was referring to like Craig Dawson, absolutely putting their lives on the line to meet crosses, to meet set pieces. This season, it ain't happening anymore.
No, it's not.
And the players gave up in that game. You remember a couple of weeks ago when Newcastle, the players showed a load of fight and everything else. Well, today they didn't. Today they just gave up.
But Gary, and this is in defence of them, they've shown time and time again that they haven't given up on the calls. They're putting loads of performances where you can see they're trying, but they are relentlessly hamstrung by that wanker that runs that team. Relentlessly hamstrung. They are. Yeah. We don't set up in a way that is conducive to creating chances. And Danny Ings, how many chances? Danny Ings has scored wherever he's been, right? Yeah. How many chances has Danny Ings had in a West Ham shirt? Give me one chance.
Well, no, he hasn't had a single chance yet. But he's according to David Moyes, he's on the bench because he's not quite ready for first team action yet. Even though he was an ever present for Villa, he started 17 games at Villa or something like that, right? It amazes me. Scamacca couldn't be tried out today because he's just coming back from injury. Dave, I don't know if you've noticed, mate, but we're in the bottom three. It's like everything he does. It's like, there's no panic, plenty of time. Let's wait till the 70th minute and we'll bring on some bullshit substitutions. Let's wait till the 80th minute and I'll try and switch to a 4-4-2 and we might nick a goal, but we're 2-0 down. We're 2-0 down. So if you want to nick goals, right? If you want to nick goals, what you're either doing without switching to 4-4-2 late in the game, what you're doing probably is trying to stop more goals. Right,
I'm in agreement with Garino here. I know everyone else. I've been saying this for a while anyway, because do you know something? We're at a stage now where we need to drop a bomb on West Ham. We need an explosion of passion. We need something different. So now we're in a situation where we've got to roll the fucking dice, because what we're doing is not working. It's not. I don't think we've got the capability in our squad to play the way that David Moyes actually wants to play. It's not effective anymore. We haven't got the players to be able to do that, but we have got the players to play a different style of football. We need to get someone new in with fresh ideas that can spark a little bit of life back into that fucking team, because they're not inspired. I'm not inspired. How could you be inspired as a fucking footballer in that team playing for that man? He just shackles you. He's like a big fucking ball and chain. That's what he is. Yeah. Okay, and if we were to survive this season, it would be in spite of David Moyes, not because of him. And he's holding us back. We need to be doing better than this. We've got to be doing better than this. So I don't know. They're talking in the chat. Apparently, there's an ITK that has come out. Not your. Let us know again, because I might have missed this in the chat, but Garino said it. Apparently, I'm assuming they're saying that he might be sacked. I hope he's gone. I hope he's gone. He's got to go. I'm fucked off talking about it now. And this, do you know something, Gary? It's embarrassing that we're in this situation now. Yeah. You know, it really is. We are the only team that has not reacted now, aren't we? Are we not?
You know the reason. You know the reason. You know you're saying, oh, he's got to go now. We all know he's got to go. We all knew he had to go before the World Cup. But you know what? We know Sullivan as much as we know, as well as we know David Moyes. As well as we know David Moyes ain't going to make a substitute or do anything until the 70th minute. We know Sullivan will just sit on his fucking hands and wait for something to happen next week, right? And then suddenly next week he'll be all surprised and they'll have to give him the bullet when we're sitting propping the whole fucking league up next Saturday.
Yeah, it's a question from Lee. He sent me a $5. How much? That's going to cost me in the long run. That's my son, everyone. In retrospect, if he goes now, is there any chance of the next guy having an impact? After all, the boys are going to be stuck in their ways after Moyes. No, I think there is a chance. I think we've got a really good, talented bunch, and I think they just need, like I say, take the shackles off. Play in an attacking way, it will be different. It will be. You know, we might go down, but then if we go down, we'll be going down maybe perhaps with a manager that would be more suited to getting us up, because you don't need to shit out your way out of the Championship anymore. In fact, very few teams are. If you ever look down in the Championship at the moment, they're playing progressive football, the ones that are successful. So these managers now, these types of managers, they're being phased out of the game. It's only the likes of us that are keeping them alive.
What you're doing by bringing in a new manager is you're giving yourself a fighting chance, because all that's happening at the moment is we're going down without a fight. Right, we're just going to slip out the league the way we are, quietly, without a fuss. We'll just get relegated, and then I mean, look, I depressed myself when I did this, but I made a video about what would happen. This was months ago, about what could happen if we go down. I mean, literally, you look through the list of players, our first team, right? If we went down into the Championship, there will be hardly any of them left next year.
Have you seen this, Gary? Rice has apparently spoken out. Rice has just said on Sky that we play 5 at the back with no support for strikers.
Yeah. Well, why don't he tell Noble that? And why don't Noble tell Sullivan that? And why don't Sullivan get on and sack him? We've got 15 games to go. We've got a very important game against Forest next weekend that we really must win. That is the perfect time to bring in a new manager and have the start of that honeymoon period, right? Yeah. Make sure of it. Bring a new manager in now. Don't risk it.
He's got to go. That was a London derby, right?
Yeah.
And that was a cup final for West Ham today, because we're in the bottom 3. Every game now to the end of the season should be treated like a cup final. Those players the managers should be going out there to win the game. You treat it like a cup final. You know, there's no prizes for second place. You go out there, you inspire the team. They go out and they give everything to try and win those fucking points. We are set up to fail from the start with this man. We are. And I haven't got the ump with the players. I actually haven't got the ump with any of the players. I haven't got the ump with Declan Rice for wanting to leave, playing with that fucking tosser in charge. I've got no. That's the limit of our ambition. The fact that he is still here, you know, it's embarrassing. It is so embarrassing now. And like I say, I'm getting frustrated with it now. It has been getting more and more difficult on here, on this channel, because we are in like a West Ham purgatory at the moment. Like I say, the guy just keeps doing enough to keep himself afloat, and every time he keeps himself afloat, you've got people coming at us and sniping at us from all angles, saying, see, you don't know what you're talking about, you should have stuck with him, he's going to keep us safe. And it's fucking exhausting. You can see it's going to fail, we can all see it, but it's a case of waiting, and the waiting is killing me, because I think the wait I do believe, I think he could hang on for so long that we could drop. And I think that we might have already passed that point. I think we might have waited too long. I think 23 games, 24 games. I don't know. We've got some tough games coming up. We really have. So I don't know what we do now. I couldn't. No matter who we get in at this point, I wouldn't feel comfortable that we were going to survive. But that doesn't mean that we keep him. He's the reason we're there. He's got to go.
Yeah. No, I agree.
He's got to go.
I agree. But it's David Sullivan, so he's going to do nothing, right? He's going to just sit on his hands. He ain't going to. I mean, look. This is when you think about it. Tonight is. I mean, I've just stumbled across this myself talking on this stream, right? This tonight is the perfect time to sack him, because we have a very winnable game against Forest next week. The perfect start for a honeymoon period. You know, that is exactly what you want. A home game against Forest for the new manager, right?
It's the perfect job for Moyes to save his job. That's what it is. That's what Sullivan will say. That's what Sullivan will say.
Of course he will. Of course he will. That's what Sullivan will say. But I'm saying that is not what Sullivan should be thinking, right? No. Sullivan should be getting shot of him. But Sullivan being Sullivan, he wants to be right. It means more to Sullivan about being right than it does about doing the right thing by the football club. Clearly, he don't give a toss about the football club. He just cares about being right, or he cares about trying to save a few quid or something like that, or being the wise old elf. With which he, he gets stuff wrong all the time. He always has done. He leaves managers in their jobs for too long. Look at Avram Grant. This is another Avram Grant season. I'm afraid we're going to slip out without even making a fuss. And next season, this team is going to be unrecognisable from the team you see today. Everyone who's any good in that team, they'll be gone.
They'll be gone. They'll be gone. I mean,
yeah, for a fraction of the price. I
mean, the worry for me now. We saw it today. We saw it. I mean, you've seen other teams around us that have been showing fight. Yes, we've been showing signs. We've been showing better performances, but we ain't been winning games. We haven't turned any fucking corners, that's for sure. Other teams around us have been fighting. They've been winning. Their boards have been reacting. They've been showing ambition. They've been going, no, we're not going out the Premier League without a fight. The players have reacted. They're all fighting to stay in. They're trying to win games. What we saw today in that second half was our team giving up. Now, that is what is going to happen. It's going to happen. We haven't got a team for this fight, and we haven't got a manager to inspire them. We're up. We're in shit. We're in serious shit. The only chance that we've got is to make a change now. That's it. And even that may not work. But you've got to give yourself a fighting chance, surely. Surely.
Well, with every game that ticks by, you still need to win 5 or 6 games, right? So we now need 5 or 6 out of 15.
I know.
We need to win over a third of the games.
I know. I mean, the thing is, when you're watching that game, right? Looking at the game in isolation, you're watching it in the first half. You're thinking, you're watching it. You're not pissed off. You're watching it. You're thinking, oh well, we're competing. We're doing all right. We're in the game. We've made a few chances. They don't look that great. But this is a Tottenham team that always starts slow. They're a bit like us. They started slow. They absorbed the pressure, and then they go in the second half. But then in the second half, we just did not react. We didn't react at all, and we had no. And Moyes had no answers for him. He took off Ben Rama. What would he do? He made a double switch, didn't he? He took Antonio.
He took off Downs for Ben Rama and Antonio for Ings. So he went with the world's smallest front pairing up front in Bowen and Ings.
I know, and Ben Rama was deeper than he was further forward, so you can only imagine that's under instruction. He's saying, because at that point, I'm telling you now, when I saw Fornals and Johnson warming up with 10 minutes to go when we're 2-0 down, do you know what that was? Damage limitation.
Don't concede any more goals.
Damage limitation. I could lose my job here if it gets any worse. That's not him trying to get back into it. That's him going, no, let's keep this score down. But we're in double figures now. I think we're minus 10 on goal difference now.
Yeah, doing very well.
Yeah, so
I think if you can make it into minus 20, I think, by the end of the season.
I know.
Easily.
I know. But I'll tell you what, should we open up the phone lines quickly?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, 1 minute. Yeah. Let me pair my phone first. If you got my number, don't phone me yet.
Yeah. I must admit though, this has been
a terrible season.
It wasn't unexpected today. It wasn't unexpected. But at the back of your mind, you still
cheers, Michael.
You're just hoping, aren't you? You're hoping that we're going to do something against Tottenham. You're hoping that we're going to do something against Tottenham.
It's one game,
Yeah. Oh, especially where you live.
I know. It's been grim. Okay, right, 1 minute. So if anyone does want to phone in and blow off steam, the only thing you can't do, no C-bombs. It's too early. All right?
Yeah. We should try and keep the swearing to a minimum, actually.
Hang on. Where are we?
Otherwise, YouTube algorithm gets all upset.
Where are we? Hello, Dave. Hello, Dave.
No.
Oh my God, they're all coming. Hang on a minute, one at a time. I've got a few calls. There's loads that want to phone in. Hello, Dave. Can you hear us? Oh, good stuff.
I can't hear him.
You can't?
No.
Hang on 1 minute. You should be able to.
I can't.
How about now, Dave? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I can hear him now.
I had you on mute. That's why. Right, hang on, everyone. Just calm down. We're going to take them one call at a time. All right, Gary. I'll call you back. Fuck's sake.
Not Gary from Romford.
Yes,
Must
Gary,
be, must be. Must
Gary
be.
from Watford, I'll call you back.
Gary's taxi.
Anyway, Dave, how are you, mate? Come on, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm bloody depressed, mate. I'm depressed. I
Yeah.
saw that lineup with 8 defenders and 2 attackers.
That's what it was, wasn't
And
it?
I thought,
That's what it was.
oh, for fuck's sake, it is really depressing. If he doesn't go, then there's no hope for us, really, is there?
No, we're going one way. We're going down.
You know, at one point, we were pushing forward and playing a high line, Dave. And
We're not
and
going
for,
down. We're West Ham.
for 20 minutes in the first half, we were pushing forward and we looked all right. Yeah, we looked all right. But however, when we started retreating, a couple of times, several times in that first half, we had all 11 men behind the ball.
Yeah.
And we tried to play an out ball to Antonio.
We did.
Right. And Antonio actually had a Spurs player behind him.
Can I ask, I know Wolves lost yesterday at home to Bournemouth, but when they played away at Southampton, when they had a player sent off, they put 2 attackers on. That's Lopagaidu. Every other team is attacking.
You say that worse than me, Dave. Lopagaidu.
Still attack and win a corner and get a header and something like that and score and hold on to it.
Yeah.
And everyone, if you go on to
yes.
Everyone, if you say it's dinosaur football, what do you mean dinosaur football? It is dinosaur football. No one plays that. He's of the Steve Bruce school, and they've all been found out. And I tell you what, I'd fucking prefer if Neil Warnock come and took us over.
I don't know about that.
Have a bit of fight about us.
Yeah, well, at this point, I would take anyone for the rest of the season. Anyone. Even Allardyce. I would take Allardyce back at the moment. I mean that as well. I would. I'd have him cupping his ear to us when he saved us from relegation. I don't like Allardyce.
I have a word to say about that.
No, I don't like Allardyce, but I am that fucking done with Moyes. I'd even take him back. I would.
Well,
Thanks, Mice Collective.
He took over a team at Huddersfield who haven't bloody scented a win for ages. First game in, they win at home.
Yeah.
No, there was no passion today. They were set up to defend and sneak a win, and it was disgusting. And I wouldn't have minded if it was Tottenham on their best form, but they were shit lately, Tottenham. They were there to beat, but no, we didn't.
No, I know. I know. It was.
I noticed, as you know, I love the youth team, but I noticed there was a controversy today where young Divina Mumba has put out an Instagram post where people are saying, is he criticising Moyes because he's sort of like steam coming out of his earrose and pointing to his watch and saying, well, what more do I need to get a chance?
Well, I agree. I'll tell you what I'd do. What's just been recommended there by, what is it, Amma 69, 89. Sorry, my eyes are crap. Amma 69. Let's put my glasses on. Harry Redknapp. Would you take Harry Redknapp? 15 games left of the season.
For the rest of the season, no, for the rest of the season, I would. I would
every day of the week.
The other thing, lads, is why did we buy Danny Ings?
Oh, well, that was a gift from Sullivan. Do you remember Sean came on the show and he said it was a life raft. So what they've done is they've given.
Why buy him a gift if he isn't going to use the gift?
We don't know how to use a gift. He don't know how to use a striker, Dave. He don't know how to use a striker.
Well,
Full stop.
I know that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm saying it. I mean,
I don't know.
Beyond the joke.
I know. I mean, he's a good striker. I mean, he's got the tools. He's got the tools now. You think about it, right? Look at the when we brought in John Hartson and Paul Kitson. He should be in a dream situation because he's got Skamaka and Ings, 2 players that flourish playing together. He's got them. He's got them now. They're sitting on his bench. He's got them now.
Yeah.
You know? But we're not going to see it, are we? Because is he going to drop Bowen? Is he going to drop Antonio? Is he going to drop any of his favourites? He's not. He's never going to do it.
Yeah, he's been spending money like it's going out of fashion. I didn't know this, but in addition to the 300 million, which is, by the way, that's a conservative estimate. It was probably more that he spent, plus all the loan fees and everything else. He also gave Antonio a much needed pay rise from 70 grand a week to 100 grand a week.
Well, that was nice of him.
Just after he became an international. And yes. Very nice. Very nice. Honestly, he's spent money like a drunken sailor, the guy. He really has.
I know. But anyway, Dave
The problem is, lads, is that you're all hoping that the Moyes is going to get sacked tonight.
I'm
There's
not.
more chance
I'm hoping.
Giving him a 5-year contract.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I don't believe he will. I think he'll be here next weekend. That's what I think. I think he'll be here next weekend, and I think he'll be here beyond that because he'll probably get a point, and then we'll have people on here going, "Oh, he's turned the corner again. You got to stick with him." Fuck off. Honestly, it fucking drives me mad. It does. But Dave, what do you think at the moment? Do you think if you had the choice now, would you be sacking Moyes?
Yes,
you would. Okay.
I don't think I'd rather to the end. I'd rather put Nolan in charge to the end of the season.
Anyone,
I'd do that. I'd do
anyone.
That.
I would take anyone. Anything at the moment. I would.
Southampton sacked their second manager, and yesterday they played better without a manager.
Well, sometimes that can happen. I mean, it can. It depends what the backroom team's
and
like.
Everyone who fucking said, "Oh, we don't want Sean Dyche. He's 2 out of 3 at Everton now. He's a hero."
Yeah. What about Mice Collective suggestion?
Look, Villa next Saturday. He wins that game against Villa, 3 out of 4. They'd be carrying him around the ground, wouldn't they?
They would. How about Mice Collective's suggestion? Look, would you take Boris Johnson? He's not doing much at the moment. He was involved in it. He was involved in that.
He's never done very much, to be fair. No, he could.
Oh God.
Oh dear.
But,
okay,
look,
I think a few of our fans have been on the piss. I think Noble's got to have a word in it. And what made me laugh today was Sun said West Ham are looking to replace Rice with Milosevic Savic of Lazio.
Yeah.
He was a player who last year was £80 million player.
Yeah.
He's going to go, I fancy a season in the Championship. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, we should stop thinking about who we're going to have next season and thinking about, can we stay in there? And people were saying earlier on, Hammer's chat was saying about, I'd love Vincent Kompany. And Vincent Kompany would be saying now, he's got more chance of being in the Premiership with Burnley next season than he has with West Ham. Let's face it.
Yeah, no, I know.
Anyway, I'll let some others get on. It's nice to speak to you. It's a brilliant show.
Cheers,
Love
Dave.
it a bit.
Cheers, Dave.
Let the other rebels get on.
All right, cheers,
Moyes
mate.
out.
Moyes out.
Bye-bye.
Good man. Moyes out.
Moyes
the
out.
voice of Len. Right, the lines are now open. So if the 15 people that just called me want to call back, that's fine. First come, first serve. Gary's having his dinner, so you got 10 minutes to get on.
Oh God, it's
here
all
we
going.
go.
Mike, +44 74.
Where are we? Hang on. Why aren't it answering?
Yeah, I don't know if you know, right? Because it's talking about Boris with Kwarteng as his assistant, and then someone said Liz Truss. Do you lot know that Kwarteng was once having an affair with Liz Truss?
1 minute. Hang on,
They're
Gary.
former lovers.
Hang on, Gary. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Hello, Mike.
Guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, mate. I can hear you now.
How are we doing after that? That absolute catastrophe.
Oh, I'm just depressed. I'm depressed, mate. I really am. I mean, the sad thing is for me, I was saying to Gary before I came on, I was sitting there watching that game with zero emotion, even when they scored, nothing.
Yeah.
Now, when they scored the second one, nothing. I knew we weren't going to come back into it. It was depressing. That's,
What was Fabianski? He was an absolute statue.
I know.
Like, I've had it up to here with Fabianski. Like he's so inconsistent. He'll drop an absolute blinder one week, and then the next week we're just reminded of his age now. I think Areola must be looking at him thinking, like, are you serious? Like, how am I not in that number one spot?
I know.
Because he does that thing that all the goalkeepers do where they just stand still and they just watch it roll past them. Like, at least stick a leg out or something. And even before that, I mean, like the first half an hour, I actually thought we played quite well. I thought Souček was quite impressive. Like, I like Souček when he's getting forward, because when he's further back, he's not really offering much apart from just winning aerial duels. But yeah, I thought the first half an hour, I was actually feeling quite good about it. I was like, do you know what? We might actually nick something, like maybe a draw. But
did you really though?
No,
I mean, because even in that period, I thought we're doing all right, But if you've watched Tottenham always start slow. So I kind of felt like Tottenham were doing what they do, but I felt like we weren't. Apart from that first 2 minutes where Bowen got that shot, I thought after that we created nothing. I mean, we were in the game, and I thought, at least Spurs, they ain't turned up today. You know, we're bossing them a bit. But I never felt like we was going to win that game, mate. I didn't. Not at any point did I feel like we was going to win.
Well, I think past the half an hour mark, it went quite flat, and I thought, oh, this could be this could go either way. But I just as soon as Real scored, I thought, no, we're not getting back into this. Like because like we go a goal down, and it's either we bounce back straight away and show some fight, or we just let our heads hang down. And I just think I think we gave up as soon as Real scored. And I actually like looking at the formation when it came out. You know, I could see that we were going to do either a 3-5-2 or a 5-3-2. So we were basically going to match them man for man because they always play like a 5-3-2 or a 3-5-2.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that, but Downs, Rice, and Souček, you know, it's three of the same ilk of player where they're all kind of like defensively minded. Like if it was Rice, I mean, obviously, ideally, if we wanted Paqueta in there, but he's out. But Rice, Fornals, and Lanzini would be at least a bit more of an attacking option in that midfield because we just set up not to lose, as Moyes does every game. And it's just, as soon as I saw that formation, I was like, it could go either way. I mean, it could be good that we're matching the man for man, but we're not doing anything with it. So, like, it's just 10 men behind the ball again.
Yeah, I said to Nick, right, when I saw the formation, I immediately WhatsApped Nick and said, oh, we're playing with 8, exactly what Dave said earlier. We're playing with 8 behind the ball. We're playing with 8 defenders.
Yeah.
And you were actually quite upbeat, Nick. You said, that's possibly the best formation for the players available.
With those players, if you were to play a 3-5-2, effectively, so you play your back 3, you play Emerson and Soufal as wing-backs, you play Rice and Downs holding, with Souček supporting the attackers, with Bowen and Antonio up front. I think that could be an attacking formation, but we didn't. We played a 5. We played a back 5. We played a middle defensive 3, and even the forward 2, and even the forward 2 weren't. So it all depends on it's attacking mentality. We were set up to be defensive, so it doesn't matter what the shape ever is going to be. If that's how you're instructed, if your instructions are to sit back and defend, it don't matter what the shape is. It doesn't matter at all.
No, it doesn't. We got someone calling us wet spam in the a Spurs supporter, age 5 in the comments.
Oh God,
age 5,
mate.
Oh, they can do one. What are they doing? They've already won their cup final. Can't they just
I know.
This is true. This is true.
They booked the bus for tomorrow and everything.
I'm bound to get a fucking spud foam me in a bit, and
yeah, you are.
Oh no, you know it's gonna happen.
I know.
But I thought Bowen looks all right, and Antonio, all right. In build up play, I thought some of the crosses and like pings he was doing, I thought was quite good. But just to get in front of goal, absolutely nothing. Ings is a bit of a worry because I know he's not getting a lot of game time, but the game time he is getting, you know, he's not really showing a lot. And for him to be our highest paid player at the moment, like I hate to always draw it back to finances, but you got to be showing us something because but we brought you in for a reason.
But Mike, what did you want him to do today with the service that he was getting? A striker needs service. What do you want him to do?
I know, but I think there was one chance he had where like the ball got given to him in the box and he had like a really bad touch, and you know, if he'd have taken it a bit better, you know, it could have maybe been a shot on target or something. But I do agree. I mean, we don't really give our strikers any service. I saw Scamacca warming up earlier, and I was like, is he going to get a run in? Because we don't seem to be getting balls into the box, and you know, Scamacca can just like fly one in from outside the box, and I thought that might be a good option because you know that they were holding back off us when they were outside the box, but when we get in the box, they were all over us. So I was thinking, well, if we bring on Scamacca, as we saw against Leeds and how he's done it for Sassuolo, he could just ping them in from distance, and he didn't even get a run in, but it's probably to protect him for the Forest game because God forbid he picks up another knock.
Fucking Sean Webber, look. Oh, look, he's come out again. He's come out of woodwork, Gary, look.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell. Oh, God. Have we banned that Wonder Boy? Has he been banned? Has he been banned?
Wonder Boy? I haven't banned anyone.
Oh.
I'm letting you deal with it. But no, that's fine, mate.
Moyes has to go. Like,
So-
do you know what? I think he pulled the wool over our eyes with these
Yep.
like recent results, and even I was a
Absolutely.
bit blinded by. Like, maybe we can get something, but I'm sorry, he needs to go now. It's ridiculous. He's going to drag us down to the Championship, and Sullivan needs to be looking at it like, if we don't get rid of him now, like, you know, we're going to be playing EFL next season. So
if just say they sack, it's not going to happen, but just say they sack Moyes tonight, who would your ideal replacement be if they was to bring someone in?
I mean, I don't really know, because there's not really a lot, and we're not gonna pay a compensation fee to get a manager out of a job. But maybe to see us to the end of the season, I would maybe take Benitez. I'm not happy about it, but I mean, I just feel like anything's better than what we've got, and I'm seeing the chat say Tuchel's not coming to us. No way. But I mean,
do you not think that Tuchel or Pochettino at this point wouldn't take a 5-month job with a fucking 20 million bonus at the end of it if they kept us safe? Why wouldn't you?
I just think I think they turn their nose up on us just because I think because of their CV now, they'd look at West Ham as a massive step down, and you know, like it could potentially hinder any job that he was at West Ham. But I think before the World Cup break, I think they would have probably been looking at us like, I can do that. But I think right now, I think we're way too deep in it for them to even consider us now.
No, yeah, you're probably right. I think you're right. It's just me being hopeful, but like I say, at this point, at this point, I think it's getting him out of the club would be hopefully a lift enough. I don't think it really matters at this point. He's taking us down. He is. So I think we've got to roll the dice and do something different. You know, we have to. But anyway, Mike, thanks very much for the call, mate. We're going to let you go, Mike, because I'm getting absolutely abused on the messages and everything at the moment. So okay. I'm hitting the dump button every 2 seconds. So, but Mike, thanks for the call, mate. That was really good. I'm always out, and I'll speak to you next time.
Moyes out.
Moyes out. Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Cheers.
See ya.
All right, here we go. Straight into the next one.
Miles behind on the comments, you know.
Hello there. It's Nick from Claret and Booze. This is a new number. Who am I talking to?
Hello, mate. Nick, it's John from Collier Row. Just got back from the
John.
game.
Hello, John. Ran the corner from me. Ran the corner from me, John.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, Chelmsford Avenue. Want to join the wake tonight? I'm there.
So what did you think tonight, mate?
Oh, buddy, like the build up to the game was there, and like what a cracking! You got to take your hat off straight away to the away fans. You know, like they're there week in, week out, capacity sold out, and it's heartbreaking. We was talking at half time. We knew what was coming. You know, we knew exactly what was coming, and you look at it today. The player they've slagged off all season cracks a goal against us. The one that is bang out of form cracks a second against us. Is that if there's any team that needs a boost in the Premiership,
play us.
It works week in, week out.
Hang on, John. Can I just pause you for 1 minute before I have a massive tantrum again?
Of course.
Right, everyone, listen. All I've got is an iPhone. I haven't got a switchboard. I can take one. I can take one call at a time. All right. So please, just try and wait for the calls to end and then phone back in afterwards. Please. I want to talk to you all. I promise.
You can actually hear that he's in a phone call already, right? It's on screen.
Yeah. Please. But go on then, John. Sorry, mate.
But lads, you know, my real concern is next week. I don't think Forest will lay down and die like the Everton did last week.
Hang on a minute. Come saying Moyes sacked tonight. Moyes has gone. Moyes will detach himself from any blame. Right. Okay.
We're gonna have to.
Sorry, carry on, John. Carry on, John.
I'm gonna have.
I thought I had big news, but I ain't.
Is it not? No.
No. I'm checking. I'm checking.
Do you know what? I before I spoke to you guys, I had a little Google, and the odds on him is 7-1. I mean,
really?
That Potter's 1-4 on, and like you've got people in front of him, like the Tottenham manager who's laying up rested, and someone else, and then you've got Moyes at 7. Are we missing something, lads? So like all these pundits on telly and everything are saying, "Oh, Moyes can turn this around."
Oh, John, it
Moyes
winds
is
me up, you know. It winds me up. He's been given such a free pass by literally everyone on the telly and the radio.
Have you heard a bad comment about him? You know what I mean?
No, but John, do you know why that is? Do you know why it's so sickening? It's because we're just little old West Ham and we should be grateful to have David Moyes. That's what fucks me off. David Moyes was managing Tottenham and had this run of results. He was managing anyone else. Everyone would be saying he's done, he's got to go. But because he's managing little old West Ham, we should be grateful that we've got him because of what
100% agree, lads.
He got us to 6th and 7th place in the freak pandemic seasons. He deserves to be given the time to take us down. You know, he should.
And that's unheard of for West Ham. You know, we qualified for Europe. West Ham have never done that before. You know, we've never done that before.
I know.
And these little podcasters keep bringing out saying, "I got them."
Ooh.
It's not us.
Well, no,
them.
You know,
I'll pick up on that. I'll pick up on that.
Yeah. You know, like it's no attitude, and I think it's toxic. You know, like and I'm not digging out Declan Rice. He's a fantastic player, but I just think the weight on his shoulders is immense at the moment. You're talking a relegation team with a 22-year-old lad, you know, like as captain, you know, like I don't think that's the right thing as well. You know, take that burden away from him, but I don't know. I'm at a loss, lads. I'm at a loss. But love the show and really enjoying your content tonight, lads.
Cheers, John.
Thanks, John. Thanks for calling.
May it continue.
Cheers,
God
mate.
bless. And
Moyes out.
Mate. Yes.
Moyes out. Yes.
Ta-ra, boys.
All right.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Right, okay, this is good. The phone lines are hot at the minute. I'll tell you what I've got.
Souness was having a go at Moyes earlier. Really?
Good.
Is Souness going to be the only pundit to have a go at Moyes? Because I haven't heard another one.
I've got a message from Dave Trevitt. 1 minute. He sent this through to me.
Gary.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll play it in a minute. Hang on. Where are we? Hello, Gary.
Gary.
Hello.
Hello, Nick.
Hello, mate. You're all right?
No.
Yeah. Can I just say, Gary? Hello, Gary. Can I just say that David Moyes in a TV interview just said we need goals from Danny Ings.
Is he taking the piss?
Yeah.
Is he taking? He didn't say that, Gary. He didn't say that.
He's looking for another job as a comedian, I think. Yeah.
I'm going by
I'll
the
tell you
comment.
what, lads. I've never been so angry today, that second half. And I know it's Tottenham, but you know what? You can see there, the players are not playing for them. Whatever's left in that team is gone today. The second half, it was... I mean, Tottenham weren't great, let's be honest about it.
No, they weren't.
And we know Tottenham start badly, but Moyes set out for the draw. I mean, I watched it on Sky, and Hasselbank, you know, the Chelsea striker. He said after the game, he said Antonio was totally isolated. He was playing on a desert island on his own. Because, like, when you look at it, the back, it was a back five. It wasn't a back three with wing back. It was back five with three defensive midfield players. And you've got Bowen and Antonio up front. That's why we're not scoring goals. It's total detachment from the attackers to the rest of the team.
Yeah,
There's no creativity there at all. There's no creativity there at all. And we'll say one thing about Declan Rice. When that Perisic, I mean, Tony got booked for a yellow card and he got the ball twice before he hit the player. Perisic should have been sent off. He had two tackles, one after the other.
Yeah, one on Bowen.
Rice reacted. Rice did react to that. So give him that. He did sort of stand up to it. But we're going down, lads, because I'm sick and tired of hearing the media keep saying the same thing. And some West Ham fans.
Yeah, mate. It ain't just the media. It ain't just the media. There are a lot of West Ham fans. They're giving us the same old sanctimonious shit. You don't know what you're talking about. You fucking, don't get carried away. We've seen it all before. No. We're gonna be fine. We're getting it ourselves. Honestly, it's within our own fan base. There are fans that are seemingly happy to sit and wait this out.
We are sleepwalking into the championship.
Yeah, we are.
Look at this.
I mean, remember last week's show, lad? Remember last week's show when I said to John said he thinks we stay up, but he didn't know why. And I said, and a lot of fans are saying that. And John, when you asked him, John couldn't really explain. He just felt look at the squad. It's what it is. We shouldn't. That squad is a top eight squad
easily
in terms of when everyone's fit. But that's the trouble. They're not. But the game of day, it was 0-0, and then when we went 1-0 down, there was no reaction from Moyes at all.
No.
You got 4-0s. I mean, listen, if you play in the back five, you don't. I know Suchik was getting the forward a bit more, but you don't need 3 defensive midfield players when you've got a back five. You're not going to score goals with a back five, Nick. Not the way we play. You've got to dump it now. And draws are just not. I mean,
but the thing is, Gary, you kind of we all do it. You know, when we talk about what we need to do week in, week out, we're all preaching to the converted. We all know that what David Moyes is doing is wrong. We've all been calling it week in, week out that the way he's setting the team up is wrong. We're all converted. Most of us know this is the wrong way for us to be setting up, and we all know we all want. We ain't saying go out there gun ho. We're not saying that, but what we're saying is don't go out there and play with a back five and 3 central defensive midfielders. Don't fucking do it. Why? Why would you do it?
Sorry, Stuart on the comments. Hold on, Gary. Stuart on the comments. Start directing your anger at Sullivan. He's
been doing it for ages, mate.
We've been doing it for ages.
Yeah. I don't know what he's seeing and what he's thinking. He's obviously listening to the media too much, thinking suddenly we're going to turn this around. You know, do you know what? We've got 17 points less than last season. We're 15 goals down on last season.
Yeah.
That's 5 wins and 2 draws less. We're just going down. But the thing is, even the most pro Moyes supporter must now, if you ask them tonight, after the results yesterday, Southampton and Bournemouth both going and winning away from home, Forest getting and winning again. You can see Everton going to start winning their own games. So what teams are we going to finish above then, lads? Now,
I don't know. I've been saying that for ages, but we've got one from John McFadden here, so I'm going to pick on him again. 1 minute. Hang on, Gary.
Go on.
So he said here. So this what you're going to have is a lot of Moyes supporters are going to be blaming the players. So we've scored 7 goals away from home. Is that just the manager? No. Do you know something, John? It's a way you set your team up. If you play with a back five and 3 central defensive midfielders, 8 defensive players, those forward players are going to struggle to score a few goals. It's the way that we set up. It's a manager. It goes back to the manager. All roads lead back to David Moyes. They do. I'm sorry.
They do.
If you don't want to have a go at the manager.
Another thing. If we got rid of Moyes, if we get rid of Moyes tomorrow, Nick's right. Anything would improve because what he'll do is a stench around that place now that runs. I mean, second half particularly. I don't know if Gary and yourself, Nick, did you watch it? You could see second half. There was no reaction to that at all. Any other team would be a goal down in the bottom 3, would at least be fighting and going for it. There was nothing. There was no reaction at all. It was flat.
No.
That's what worries me about it. That's what worries me.
No, we haven't been like that, but I've seen this coming. So basically, I think that the reaction that we've shown, I don't think the results have been great. I don't necessarily think our performances have been great. I don't think we've been brilliant at all. But what we have seen is an upturn. We've seen that we've seen performances where you couldn't say that the players have down tools. We've seen performances to that level where it looks like the players are running and they're trying for the manager. But they've been flogging a dead horse. They are pissing in the wind. That's what they're doing. Yeah. And you'd have to be made of stone to not get fed up as a player in that situation, being sent out, hamstrung, because these players know they're better than this. These players know they play for a team that is capable of more. They will be starting to resent that manager. It will happen. He's a fucking problem. He's a problem,
Yeah. I know. It is a problem. I mean, the trouble is now. I mean, did Declan Rice say that tonight? I mean, I switched the Sky off after the
apparently,
game.
I've not seen it, mate, but apparently so. Yeah, there's a few people that have confirmed it.
Well, if he said that about playing 5 at the back and 3 defensive midfield players, that's as near as he can possibly go to criticising the manager, isn't it?
Well, no, that is criticising the manager.
Yeah.
I mean, that actually saying,
You've even got Huey off of Claret and Hugh tonight saying that Moyes needs to be sacked. Unusual. Yeah.
Until he scrapes a win against Nottingham Forest next week, and then they'll all be fucking up his arse again. That's what we'll have.
Even if we beat Forest next week,
I know.
we've got 2 home games that are winnable, them and Villa. But you've got Brighton and Man City away. We're not going to get anything from them two.
I know. And I know. It's not getting any. It's not getting any easier. It's not. It really ain't.
The trouble is, right?
The trouble is, years ago.
Hold on. The trouble is, there are only a certain number of winnable games, the way I see it, because we're not going to win any that we shouldn't win.
No,
right?
there are no surprises. No surprises.
So really, there's only a set number of games that we could win, and that number of games is probably about 6. So there's literally no more room for slip-ups at all.
No, there's not. No, and if you leave it, it may even be too late because at the end of the day,
we're not,
all the managers we could have had months ago have all been taken.
Yeah, but you know something, we're not going to beat all of those teams. We're not going to beat Southampton, Bournemouth, all of these games that we look at on paper and think, yeah, there's 3 points there, and Nottingham Forest. We're not going to beat them all. We're not going to.
Do you think you was a bit deceived by the Newcastle and Chelsea results when you think Newcastle?
I weren't. I weren't.
And Chelsea have been beaten at home by Southampton, and it puts it in perspective, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, but I think people were, but I weren't. I was coming on here doing post-match reviews, being criticised and slammed, saying, "Why are you downbeat? Why? What? I'm like, well, what?" You know, I was up there. Anything now?
I was up there, so going to Newcastle and getting a point was actually a good thing. You know, it was a good thing, and it was an enjoyable day. So I was quite upbeat about it, but I wasn't upbeat about a point at home to Chelsea. No.
But the trouble is, do you need to play? Like, I mean, I know he went for the point today, and to be honest with you, if we'd got the draw from Tottenham, and we'd have followed it up with winning next week, I would have been okay with that because they're a decent side, but they didn't play well first half. They offered nothing, did they? Going forward, Tottenham. It was a matter of who was going to score first, and we certainly weren't. So it was just a matter of once they got the 1-0 up, I thought, here we go, we get caught on the break here. Son, come on. The script was written, wasn't it? I mean, Bonner should have got that ball with Kane. He let it bounce and lost it. That could have been stopped.
Home Dinners has come out and said, so I'm assuming this is what Moyes has said in the interview, more goals needed probably from Benny and Ings, and they're lucky to get on the field for 15 minutes each. So has he honestly done that, you know? Fuck me. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, next week, we've got to go back to a back four. Go back to a back four now, and get the extra player in the midfield and go. Because, like you say, you've got to go for it now. Draws. It's getting to the point where draws now.
No way. He won't do it. He won't do it. It'll be if he stays. It's back 5 from now until he gets sacked. Right? He's established. This is his formation now. As many defenders as possible to first of all try to avoid losing. And the trouble is, when you try to avoid losing and you ignore attacking, you're invariably going to get caught out if you're playing against a team who have got anything about them.
Yeah. But Gary, did you not notice second half though the body language of the players?
They went. The players gave up. First goal. The players gave up.
They did.
Yeah.
Benny, Gary, sorry, mate. Make this your last point because we've got loads of other callers that are trying to get on. So go on, make this your last one, mate.
I was just going to say, even before the goal, there was mistakes being made just after half time. You see it creeping in. You know, we started making mistakes and got away with it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm really, I think he's got to go tonight now. Otherwise, we're down. We're not going to start as it is. There's no doubt about that.
I agree, mate. I agree. And thank you very much for the call, mate. I hope you enjoyed your dinner.
Nick, have a nice glass of wine tonight, mate, and chill out.
I'm gonna. Cheers, Gary. Thanks, mate.
See you later. Mate.
Take care.
Right, here we go.
Next one. That if you turn the corner 3 times, you end up back where you began.
Hello there. It's Nick from Clarent Booze. Please tell me you're not a Spurs fan.
No, I'm not. It's Michael.
Oh, thank God. Hello, Mike. Because this is a gamble. Every phone call's a gamble at the moment for me.
Yeah, I know. I'll just put you on pause, right? and if it's okay, look, listen. I just want to change the narrative. If that's okay.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Okay, look. It's like I think we're all missing the point.
What's the point? Tell me the point.
And I think no. I think the performance on the pitch is all a distraction.
So
I mean, I work in M&A and private equity, right?
Yeah.
And in reality, everything that's going on right now is a distraction. Nobody in this whole conversation has spoken about, and I've been watching you. I love you guys, by the way. I think you're brilliant.
Thank you.
Right?
Thanks, Mike.
Is that nobody's discussed the fact that the club is up for sale in 2023. So what happened? Okay, we all know 2023, the Sunshine Clause, whatever it's called, where Sullivan avoids tax, right? Now, let me ask this one question. Did anybody 6 months ago believe that Moyes would be in a situation that would put us in relegation. No.
No, I didn't.
6 months ago.
Nobody did.
Mike, I called for Moyes.
Or a year ago.
I called for Moyes out 5.5 months ago.
I don't think that was because you thought we were going to get relegated, though, right?
Oh no,
What I'm saying is,
Gary, we was in the bottom 3, Gary. We was in the bottom 3 after game 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me talk about assets, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about what's happening to West Ham. We know they don't own the stadium, right?
Yeah.
And I work in this industry. Okay. We all know that football clubs that own their stadium and land are intrinsically higher value, right? We know that the athletics people have already sort of given up on the Olympic Stadium, correct?
Yeah.
We already know that West Ham have been given the naming rights to the stadium, correct?
Yes.
Right. So I think what's gone wrong here, the big fail, right, is that nobody, even fan level, even at the corporate level, the board level, thought we'd be in this situation. So there is a panic, right? There is a corporate panic, but they don't want to divulge it. They really don't. Now, at the moment, West Ham is valued at £800 million, right?
Yeah.
It's in the top 10 of wealthy clubs, right? This is nothing to do with football, right? This is all about corporate activity.
It's got everything to do with football, because if this is all about the club sale, if it's all about the club sale,
I'm talking about West Ham.
Yeah,
I'm talking about West Ham as a corporate entity.
Yeah,
right?
I get your point. As a company, you're saying that that it wouldn't look good from the outside. It wouldn't look good for the board to be, appearing uncertain of our future.
Okay. But also, let me give you another example, right? There's been a lot of discussion recently on various podcasts, because I absolutely love West Ham. I bleed West Ham, right? I mean, there's a lot of discussion about podcasts, right? Yeah. Now, why have they allowed Moyes to go on all these various podcasts? Why do they allow all these players to do it? The reason they're allowing it is because it's about profile. They want to increase the West Ham profile, right? And of course, Sullivan could stop this immediately, but he wants to increase the profile, right?
Yeah.
That's what's going on there, okay? The board has dropped the ball.
Yeah,
right? They're losing the narrative, right? And look, I'm very close to thinking now that also Moyes is really pissed off with having been previously fired by West Ham, and it's almost in sabotage. What is allowed to happen to the academy is beyond. It is.
It is, but what in relation to what we've just watched, and in relation to saving our season, what is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? Because with all due respect, I understand what you're saying is probably right, and everything you're saying as a corporate entity, they probably are a little bit embarrassed, but that we're a football club. We're a football club at the end of the day. That is a business. So what do you think is going to happen now?
When I came on, I made it very clear to you that I believe, all right, I needed to have this discussion away from the football and talk about the corporate entity.
Yes.
Right. And okay, I believe they're now going to shit themselves.
And do what?
I now think that I think Moyes will be released.
Yeah.
And I do not think it'll be until I think it'll be after Notts Forest game. Nottingham Forest game, right? And
but you say that, but then what if he wins or what if he draws? They won't sack him. Then we've got to do it all again. There'll be another 3 games. We'll have to wait for him to lose another 3, so he's got the next game that will save his job. He'll probably get a point in that one. This is how we've arrived at this point.
No. Well, listen. Maybe there's some. Maybe you're correct, but I think he'll be fired regardless of what happens at the game, because
why wouldn't you sack him now then? If that was the case, why wouldn't you sack him now?
I think I would imagine there's strong elements within West Ham that want to look. The crux of the issue, I believe, is that they believe that within Moyes, as we all did, all of us did, we would never be in relegation.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they were talking on. I mean, Gio was talking on Hammers Chat the other day. How dare he say that having sort of increased every player's salary to 100 grand and spending 300 million pounds over the course of the last few years, not just last season, that he could turn around and say, well, West Ham were here and now we should be here. That's our norm, right? And what Gio, what Gonzo said was correct, right? I mean, I spoke on another channel, and not as good as yours, by the way. Right? I mentioned because you guys are brilliant, by the way.
Thank you.
No, because you're just people. You're good people, And how dare Moyes say that as a manager of he won over 1,000 games. How dare he? How dare this man say that he can spend £300 million but West Ham deserve to, or not deserve, but should expect to be in relegation after spending that money?
Yeah, right? I know.
That's disgusting. Yeah. That's disgusting.
I know. It is disgusting.
Interesting point, though, anyway. Interesting point.
It is good. And thank you very much for the call, mate. It was good to get a different angle on it, but we are going to try and take some more callers.
And thank you for your time. I just wanted to say sometimes you need to sort of take away the footballing from the corporate.
Yeah,
indeed.
I agree. Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks very much. Moyes out.
Thank you so much for your time, guys. I really appreciate it. And great channel.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
See you later. Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye. Right. Hello. It's Nick from Claret and Boots. Please tell me you're not a Spurs fan.
No, my team's not even in the Premier League. Let's put it that way.
Oh, right, okay.
My team's not even in the Premier League.
Right.
Who do
you support?
Portsmouth.
Oh, right, okay.
We'll be playing you next year, don't worry.
Yeah, that'd be good. Be a nice little game.
But, however, I do like West Ham. West Ham's one of them teams that are in my heart. They remind me a lot of Pompey.
Yeah.
It's probably why that's probably why. I'm 36. So, for me, your manager needs to go, personally. Obviously, I've got no skin in the game. So, for me, I'm looking at it from an outside point of view, looking in. You've got you've got a player that wants to go. Yeah. That's obvious. I mean, we can all see that from an outside point of view, looking in. You've got a manager who isn't happy.
Yeah.
That, again, you can see from an outside point of view, looking in. And it just, to me, it seems like you don't go back. I mean, why you went back? I don't know. I don't know. At the beginning, I'm like, why would you go back? If you and your missus, for argument's sake, I don't know if you're married, but if you and your missus, for argument's sake, had a divorce, you wouldn't go back to her and go, right, let's get remarried again. You wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
I know.
It's true.
And unfortunately,
I've
got an horrible feeling. I think I'm not being horrible, but if you look at League One, Championship, how many good teams are in that now? I mean, I'm not necessarily saying Portsmouth, but you've got Sunderland. You've got so many, and I'm not being horrible, but you look at how many big clubs are there now. And if you go down, are you going to come back up? Or are you going to be another... I'm not saying it in a nasty way, because I'm generally not. I hope you don't go down. But are you going to be another statistic that is going to get relegated and then go, right, now we're in the fuck?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? No one knows the answer to that. Every time you get relegated, and we've been relegated more than most, right? We have been relegated quite a lot over the years since I've been supporting them anyway. Yeah. And we've never managed to stay down. I mean, we've never been below the championship or the seconds here. We've spent probably, I don't know, 6 bouts of championship seconds here in my lifetime. And we've never stayed down for longer than 3 seasons. Most time we come back straight away, or it's 2 seasons to come back up. I'm not saying it's going to happen this time, but I will say one thing, and that is the owners, the one thing they are good at, the owners, or owner now with Sullivan, the one thing they've got a very good track record in is getting teams promoted.
Yeah.
Right, so that's why I'm a little bit optimistic. If we go down, that we will come back, but we will have to strip down our squad. There'll be hardly any of the players that we see today playing for us next season if we go down.
If we go down, no, it's going to be awful.
Fire sale.
It's going to be awful. Yeah, it really is.
Did your I mean, obviously, you know your fans a lot better than obviously I do, because obviously I'm not, obviously not West Ham fan. But from an outside point of view looking in, I haven't really heard much of like your owners, like your fans shouting for your owners to leave until you're in trouble. Well, do you know what I mean? Until you're in trouble.
I think the issue is what happened. That ship kind of sailed. So after the move, you will have seen, the mass protests. That happened about, what was it, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? It was. Yeah. You would have seen that, and there were protests. But then what kind of happened was we got success on the pitch, and if we're being honest, that took away from it. And
so
we stopped protesting. We stopped protesting because we was getting a bit of success on the pitch, and now all of a sudden, because so to keep on flip flopping like that, really, which it will go that way again. But it does make the argument a little bit emptier when results are good on the pitch. We stop calling for the ball, and then when they're not good, we start going after them again, which is what we've done.
Also, I think they made some changes, and not only that, Nick. I think if you look at the season last year, there were some very, very good days and nights in that stadium that proved that you could get a good atmosphere up in that stadium. But it also proved that it's a stadium for big occasions, not regular league games.
Yeah. No, right. I agree. But anyway, thank you very much for the call, mate. And just before you go,
you have a good work anyway.
Yeah, that's a good one. Cheers, so I'm assuming you're Moyes out just before you go.
Well, I am for you lot anyway, because obviously I don't want to see you not get relegated. I don't want to see you not get relegated. I just want you to get a decent manager who's got a bit of passion and hopefully can keep you up.
No, you're a gentleman. Thank you.
And for me, get rid of Declan Rice as soon as possible, because he's
I don't think we've got much saying that.
Bringing the atmosphere down, but
I know.
Again, it's only my opinion.
Lovely, cheers, mate. Thanks for the call.
Thanks for the call.
Have a good one. Up the Hammers.
See you later.
Cheers, mate. Lovely, cheers, mate. Thanks for the call. Right, here we go. Right, we've got another one. God, they're queuing up tonight. It's Nick from Clarence Booze. Who are we talking to?
Hello, mate. How you doing? My name's Sam.
You're a Spurs fan, aren't you?
No, of course not. Of course not. No, definitely not.
I can sense excitement in your voice. This is what's
yeah.
No,
don't.
Okay, no. But Sam, anyway, where'd you live?
Basildon.
Basildon. Oh, right, nice one. If you'd have said Stamford, if you'd have said Stamford Hill, mate, I'd have put the phone down. So
as Vegas, just down the
road. How you doing? You all right, though?
Yeah. We're okay, mate. It's therapy doing these shows, so we're talking it out. Hey, so what are your thoughts on the situation?
After watching that today, the first thing I went to start thinking about was the Conference League now. Do we fuck that off now?
Well, I would.
Do we fuck the FA Cup off now?
Yeah.
Because what's the point? I'd love to. I'm 35. I've never seen us win fuck all apart from the Championship playoff. But doing that and getting relegated is just. I don't know. I'm speechless, mate. Really.
I know.
It was just so fucking boring today. We played all right for 15 minutes, but as soon as they scored.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
I think that second half, mate. That second half, because that proved I think we actually saw the players give up. We saw them down souls in the second half. We did, didn't we?
Big time. Yeah, big time. When I even noticed when Dan's came off, he was fuming.
Yeah,
he was.
Absolute fuming. I think he went, fuck's sake, saying like you could see him.
Yeah,
it's just I really don't know. I'm speechless with it. I really am. I think you said earlier when they scored, you didn't even give a reaction. Neither did I.
Mate, honestly, I was just sat there thinking. Well, I don't know. I mean, I was obviously. I think I must have been fuming inside because the minute I came up here and I blew up. But it's kind of I feel like I'm starting to become apathetic to it because we're not reacting because he's still here, and it feels like. I mean, look, I'm up for a fight. So if we're in a relegation battle, I'm all for it. If we're reacting, if the club are looking like they're doing everything they can, if the team on the pitch are looking like they can do everything they can to sort of win. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But what I'm seeing at the moment is cowardly. It's cowardice. It is. We're going out with a whimper. We're not reacting. We're the only team down there.
We stay up or not.
He don't care. He don't care.
He don't give a fuck. No. No, it's clearly to see. He criticises all the players every time they get a chance. I've just had enough of the geezer. I think the last decent game we played was the Tottenham game at home. I can't think of any other game. Don't remember seeing that game and thinking, yeah, we might have a chance here. And I know we had a shit start to the season, but that game I thought we actually looked pretty decent. And
from an attacking perspective, from an attacking perspective, you might be right because we've literally gone into our shell for the last God knows how many games since well before the World Cup and turned into the old Moyes way of playing, which is defence first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's correct. So I've just got a quick question. So I know the answers to this. So Gary and Nick, if we do get relegated but we win the Conference League, can we still play in the Europa League in the Championship? Yes, we can. They're separate entities, so they're not.
We'll want to get promoted. We'll want to get promoted.
Yeah, so that'd be embarrassing, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be the first time, though, because when we won the FA Cup in 1980, we were still in Division 2, and we played in the Cup Winners' Cup the following year and got to the quarter-final.
Yeah.
Lost to Dynamo Tbilisi, the eventual winners.
Apparently, Moist, what's he said here? Look, Moist has lost the changing room. Moist. There's nothing fucking. There's nothing. There's nothing.
They lost it months ago.
There's nothing moist. There's nothing moist about him. No, nothing at all.
It's dry and crackled.
But anyway, mate. So you are very much you're saying Moyes out. Do whatever it takes. Just do something. Basically,
it can't get any worse, can it?
It can't. It can't get any worse. Not now. No, I agree, mate. Well, listen. Thank you very much for the call.
Yeah, cheers, Sam.
No problem. Cheers.
All right, cheers, mate.
Right,
thanks, mate. Cheers.
See you later. Bye.
Right. Okay. Right. We'll leave it for a minute to see if anyone else phones in. I know there's loads of callers I might have missed. Right. Where are we?
Been a lot of callers tonight. Been a lot of callers as well.
I've missed loads.
Yeah. A lot of good calls. We've had a conspiracy theorist. We've had all sorts.
Yeah, I must admit, he did kind of lose me a little bit. It was a good call.
Yeah, I didn't know where it was going. It was an interesting point, but I didn't know where it was. Yeah.
Should we phone up Will 1 minute? He's been trying to get through.
Moister's lost the changing. Oh, you're changing positions on me. So I'm at this point. You know how I always do when I do the comments. I end up sharing the same comment about 5 times. That's what I'm doing.
What am I doing?
No, you every now and then pick a comment out, hit the comment, and I end up back like miles.
Oh, right, okay. That's just you're just not very good at doing comments.
I'm not very good at it.
No. Let's see what Will has to say. Hello, Will. You all right, mate?
Oh, good evening, Nicholas.
How are you?
Not too bad. Sorry, I was just washing up there.
So tell me, Will, we often have ding dongs when we have our calls. You was telling me that on the last one that you don't think that Moyes should go because what's the point? Do you still feel like that?
Yeah, of course. It's far too late now.
Well, so you're saying just accept relegation?
No, because we won't get relegated.
Oh, no, I'm not having this same call again. I'm not doing it again. No.
Oh, Will,
no,
come on. We are getting relegated.
Come on.
We are getting relegated.
Mate, we are.
We're definitely getting relegated.
If nothing changes, we're going
down.
We won't.
What do you base it on? Other than blind faith, what do you other than actually saying the words, we won't go down? What do you base it on?
Points.
What's your hypothesis?
Points. Which games are we going to win? So let's say we need 5 wins or 6 wins from the next run of games. Who are we beating? Tell me who we're beating.
It's all possible.
One shot on goal in the Tottenham game. One shot on target.
Yeah, but you're saying it's possible. But tell us who we're winning.
In the first half of the game, though, Fabianski didn't have a thing to do. We could have dominated that with the right attitude, except we just passed backwards and became a defensive unit again.
Yeah, look, John says you're in your moist. John says you're in your moist pajamas. Will you're in your moist pajamas, mate?
Will, are you blaming the players for passing?
They're in the wash, bruv.
Or were they carrying out Moyes' instructions? Is that what they were doing?
They were carrying out. They both. They were doing that because Moyes told them to.
Yes.
Passing backwards because Moyes told them to. Therefore, Moyes is at fault, no?
Yeah, but the players didn't have to do it. Are they mindless robots?
Well, they could have. You mean they should have issued? They should have it should have been a mutiny on the pitch, led by Captain.
If you're building a
Declan
house
Rice,
and your boss tells
decided-
you to put the roof at the bottom, even though you know it should go at the top,
This
would
is
you
like
still
his
do it?
This is like his baby analogy.
Would you
isn't it?
still do it?
No, you wouldn't. But you say so. What they should have done was
Exactly.
ignored Moyes because he's useless and doesn't know what he's talking about. They should have gone on the pitch
Exactly
and come
right.
up with their own tactics.
So you're saying
Exactly right.
So you're saying stick with the bloke that's put the roof on the bottom of the of our team.
Do what Sabre, do what Ben Rama does. Pretend you don't understand English all of a sudden, and play to your natural ability.
Will, come on, say the words. Moyes out. Come on, do it.
Come on,
Moyes definitely. But Moyes should have been out before the World Cup. It's too late now.
Say it. Say the words.
No,
say the
Moyes
words.
out. Moyes
say
out.
the words. It feels good. Say it
If
out.
Moyes
Say
goes
it.
out now, we'll get Lampard.
Come on, it's 2 words. Link them together.
Say it.
On a 2-year contract.
Don't worry.
I've said it.
Don't worry about.
If Moyes is out now, we'll get Rafa.
You just said Lampard.
Or worse.
What about Zinedine Zidane?
I wish. Too late now, mate.
All right, mate. Come on, say Moyes out. Come on, just say it. Just say it once. Just say it. You'll feel good. It'll cleanse your...
Moyes out, mate.
Yeah,
Moyes out.
there you go.
That's more like
You'll
it.
get a good
Moyes
night's
out.
sleep now. You will.
Yeah.
You will.
No, my Moyes pajamas are in the wash. I won't get a good night's sleep until I put them on.
But anyway, Will, thank you very much.
And Virgin hiding in the marshes comes to sing me a nice lullaby.
Right, Will, that was a lovely call, mate. Lovely as ever. I'm going to take another
Listen,
one.
I have to mention how dopey Rice is, though. Just honestly noticing now how hard it is to score with only one geezer up top. How stupid is that geezer? And he's meant to be 150 million. We'd love to get 150 quid from him.
He's not stupid. That is the first sign of the captain coming out criticising, saying what we all want to hear. That's the first sign.
They're a bit
That's the mutiny.
fucking late now. It's like the Titanic's captain saying, "Oh, we've sunk in 1988."
Right, lovely. Will, thank you
Cheers,
very much,
Will.
mate. We'll speak to you soon.
Good
you
night,
later.
gentlemen. Have a nice gig. Bye, geezer. Bye.
Bye. So listen, Wayne has just asked, can you ask Sean if he's heard anything? Wayne, we're not
Hang
going to
on.
ask Sean because Sean's just going to say he's
Hang on.
definitely not going, and that's going
He's
to
not.
fucking piss on our chips.
It's not. Right, hello. It's Nick from Claret and Booze. Are you on the... I don't know whether you are or not. Hang on. Hello? Hello there? Oh, right, 1 minute. Hang on. Let's see if I can get you back on the me Dewberry. Hello, can you hear me now? You can. Hello?
Hello? I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can. Hello,
there you go.
mate. You're
You
all
can
right. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Hello.
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 This is a very odd. This is a very odd call so far.
It's good, isn't it?
It is good. So who am I talking to?
You are talking to Matt.
Matt, you're not a Spurs fan. Please tell me you're not a Spurs fan.
Oh, fucking hell. Get off your horse.
Come on. I can take many things.
I've been talking to you boys since the 1990s on the Specialist group.
Ah, right.
All them years ago. So, yeah.
Brilliant.
So, and nothing's improved, does it?
What's that on the old email list?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. Oh, nice to speak to you, mate.
Yeah. Simon Lewis and
yeah, that's a long
all
time
those
ago, isn't it?
boys and girls.
I mean, I left that about
bloody hell.
that was the original social media. That was.
That's it. Yeah. But it hasn't
Great
got any
list. I
better,
love
has it?
I love that. Well, I'm not on it anymore, but I used to. I'm on social media, but that list was where it all started for me. Fantastic.
I know. That was great.
Yeah.
So what are
going on?
What are your thoughts now? Come on, tell us what's happening at West Ham and what would you do to fix it? Fix things. Come on, tell us what's going on.
Well, we got to get rid of that manager.
Yep.
So-called manager. We can't do anything with the players because it's February. So we need someone in there who has got an idea on how to win games and not try to not lose games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there is a difference, isn't there? That's what people.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, he literally goes out. It's like in the Newcastle game. You know, he did kind of towards the end. That wasn't a bad performance, but he accepted the point once we was level, didn't he? He was like, "That's enough.
Oh yeah,
that's enough.
definitely.
That is the point is enough.
I mean,
we don't need any more than that."
15 games left.
Yeah,
he'd be happy if we got a draw in every game now.
Yeah, he would. He would, and then he'd be going on about how unlucky we are because we just got relegated.
And I'm totally sick of it. I don't even mind if we lose the next 15 games, as long as we get our balls out and actually try to win.
Yeah,
I know.
It's just awful, mate. It's
give us
absolutely
something
awful.
I'll tell you what it is. Give us something interesting to watch, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing interesting. It's just so, how can I say, so predictable at the moment. You know what's coming, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind losing. I don't mind West Ham not being good enough. I really don't.
No.
But it's just like we're just going through the motions.
Yeah,
I know.
It's just, there's another game. There's another game. There's another game.
Well, the thing is, people are saying we're going to escape relegation, right? They're saying we're going to escape it. Like you just said, we've got 15 games left. We need to win at least 5 of them to even.
Yeah,
and that's not taking us to 40 points. We've only won 5 games all season in 23 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And who have we beaten?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
No.
But we're going to survive. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Yeah. But if it is fine and we manage to somehow get out of this crap, what's going to be next season? Yeah. It's just going to be the same. I just don't understand it. We've had a real. I mean, I've been a West Ham fan for a long time, too bloody long, I think. But we've finished 3rd one year. Nothing happened. We didn't push on. We finished 5th under Harry. Nothing happened. We didn't move on. And now it's the same. It just goes in cycles. And you just think, oh well, we'll be down.
But do you not think that this time, because we had the 2 good seasons on the bounce, but then West Ham did what they've never done before after that type of thing has happened. They did try to build, but they made a mistake. They've backed the wrong horse. They've kept the wrong manager in charge. They have invested. They've thrown money at it to try and take it on.
Yeah, we've got a really good squad.
I know.
We really have. But it's... I mean, I listen to you guys. I listen to X. I even listen to Sam Delaney. All those guys, they all say the same. We've got a really good squad, but we've got no leadership.
Nope. And it's lost confidence. The players have lost confidence. I think you know
they must have.
Declan Rice was a great captain last year because he was the second in command and Noble was the captain.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a go at Rice. He gives it his all. He definitely gives it his all. But he needed someone. He needed someone to bounce off.
Yeah, but he's going, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He is, and that's the thing
that be there.
Puts me in 2 minds as to whether he should be captain or not. Because all these. You know, it just makes me wonder, right? These people are in like real senior positions at West Ham. We've got our captain who's trying to leave. We've got Mark Noble, our sporting director, saying that if you want to play Champions League, you better leave West Ham. And then you got David Moyes saying, well, you know, you're stupid if you don't expect a relegation battle. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically it. And these are the people who are in charge at West Ham. So, I wonder what Sullivan says on the quiet.
Agree. Oh, how much money have I got in the bank? That's what Sullivan thinks. And where's my next dolly bird coming from?
Yeah, exactly. I know. But but the thing is, it is going to happen, right? Because 100% David Moyes will not last until the end of the season because they will sack him at some point. It's just whether or not.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
No, if we stay in the bottom 3, for instance, if we lost to Nottingham Forest, he would be gone. But it seems mad. It just seems but it just seems mad to wait to that point all the time. You know, he's proved that he can win these games, and then it falls off a cliff again afterwards. So he's proved that now. You know, 2 or 3 times this season so far.
Right. Yeah,
you know, so He doesn't turn a corner. It's a dead cat bounce.
But it just comes from the top.
Can I just answer a question on here for Andy Armit? He says, is Nigel Carr still Moyes in? Well, let me just say, I think I agree. He's wavering, isn't he, Nick? He's wavering.
He's definitely wavering. He is. He's definitely wavering. You know, we kind of we heard that he doesn't enjoy the football or anything like that at the moment. So look, before much longer, there won't be anyone that will be able to be Moyes out. Really, you couldn't possibly be.
3 months to go. Don't throw in the towel.
It just can't. Every time, every company I've worked for that's been shit, it comes from the top.
Yeah. This is a good point. You know, this is a good point from Eamon here. He says, do the players respect Rice? Now, you imagine, you know, you mentioned a company that you work for. If I was working and I knew that my boss was going to be leaving in a couple of months, I probably wouldn't take that boss very seriously. I'd be focusing on the next stage, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Well, actually, my boss is leaving my company at the end of this month.
Yeah.
I just don't bother talking to her anymore.
Why bother? Why bother?
You know,
yeah.
Why bother?
Well,
Because she's not going to do anything now.
That's the thing.
She's just tidying up her desk and pissing off.
Well, is it? You got Rice there. You know, Rice is a great player with a great reputation and everything else. But he's basically saying, you know, come on, lads, we can do this. Let's do this for West Ham. Let's do this for the badge. Come on, get out there and please those supporters. You know, do everything you can. Oh, by the way, I'm leaving in the summer.
But is that not any different to the, say for instance, you get a great player in on loan like Jesse Lingard who can come in and turn. You know, he's not going to stay. He's not going to stay at the end of the season. He's only here temporarily. But you embrace him.
You know that.
But what I mean is, I'm not so sure that's the case in football. Footballers should want the best players in their team. Declan Rice is a great player. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case.
You wouldn't bring Jesse Lingard in on loan and make him the captain, would you?
No, you wouldn't. But what is a captain? Come on.
Well, a captain is
hopefully someone who the other guys will follow into the ship.
But he's supposed to be the intermediary between the team and the manager.
Yeah,
most importantly.
Oh, right? Yeah, but once they get on that pitch, the captain is there.
Yeah, exactly.
And all the other 10 guys have got to follow him.
Yeah, so there you go. So you got that one there from John. Look, so if the players want to be at West Ham beyond Rice, surely they should play for their own professional respect. Yes, that's right. I agree with that.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, I'm not going to blame Declan Rice being there as a, you know, that's not justification for the other players not performing, is what I'm trying to say. I don't think.
No, I agree with that. Yeah. They just got to get on with it. 15 games. I don't know. I don't see 5 wins, but
no, it's going to be tough. I mean, and one of those wins is next weekend. One of those wins on paper that you look at and you go, "Oh, 3 points there." That's one of them. That's not
win it.
It's not a bonus game. It's a must-win game. We've got to win it because, like Gary said earlier on, there are no surprises anymore. There are no other fixtures there that you look at and you think, "Oh, we could win that one," because we don't. We don't win them.
I mean, it's not just about us, is it? I mean, look at yesterday. You would never. I mean, if you put a tenner on those 3 results yesterday, Southampton beating Chelsea, Wolves losing at home, and the other guy, Everton beating Leeds, you'd have got good odds.
Oh yeah,
really good odds.
Yeah,
and it really has stuffed us.
Yeah, I think
the other teams. Also, there's no 3 teams worse than us.
No, there isn't. There isn't.
And that's the problem.
There isn't.
That really is the problem.
But anyway, look, thank you.
Unfortunately.
Thank you very much for the call. We've got a couple more that we're going to try because we're going to try and get through. It's lovely to talk to you. Make sure you call back in, Matt.
Will do, mate.
Lovely.
All the best.
Cheers, Matt. Thanks mate.
Podcast and everything. Cheers.
No
bye.
probs.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. Right.
Unknown caller.
There we go. Got another one. Hello there. It's Nick from Claret and Booze. Who we speaking to?
Lee.
Hello, Lee. You all right, mate? You're not a Spurs fan, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Go on, then.
Go on, give me a chance.
Go on. I'll give you a chance. Go on.
Go on.
Come on,
Lee.
What we got? What am I up against?
What do you mean?
No. Go on. You say what you want to say. Go on.
Say what you want to say. Come on.
About the result today.
Yeah.
You got to say Moyes has got to go. I know it sounds like everybody else is saying, but seriously, there's got to be a big change.
I'm liking you more and more, Lee. Liking you more and more.
Yeah,
as the seconds go by.
Because Lee, are you one of the Spurs fans at the moment?
No.
Do you
no.
No, what I mean is, do you want Conte out, or are you happy with him with the style of football that he plays?
Conte, I'm not really interested in what the Spurs do.
Oh, so you're not
honest with you.
You're not Spurs. He was winding me up.
No.
Oh, thank fuck for that.
No.
Oh, good.
Oh.
No.
All right.
No. I'm not Spurs. I'm West Ham.
Oh, good, good. Oh, you was winding me up.
All
right, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Am I? Well, I'm just ringing the number that's coming up on the West Ham channel.
Yeah.
Go on, Lee. Anyway, go on. What's your point, Lee? Go on.
What, you trying to suss me out, yeah?
Yeah.
No,
it was
no.
all to do with that opening question Nick asked. It was a tough question. He said, Lee, you're not Spurs, are you? And you said, yes, I am. So
No, right. That one caught me out then. Right, that was a devious little trick. You snidey little sneaks.
I know.
No, I'm ringing a number that I'm seeing on YouTube, and I'm like getting questions about being a spud. No,
it's because I'm expecting some bastard corners to phone in and give me a load of grief. That's what I'm expecting. You want
to plough the spuds.
I know. But anyway, Lee.
No.
So look,
I'm West Ham.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, you ring up to these kind of channels and you kind of think, well, am I going to give something different to the conversation? But after today, Jesus, I'm done. You got to get this geezer out. He's just moronic.
Yeah,
you got two strikers on the fucking bench. And he brings on Johnson and these other. It's just like.
Well, that's what killed me. The last two substitutions were 10 minutes to go. You got Skamaka on the bench, and he brings on Fornals and Johnson, and at that point, I could have just turned the telly off at that point. I didn't, but I was just like, "Fuck off, Moyes."
I was bang on to the. We've had years of watching West Ham.
Yeah.
And when we had the lockdowns, and I thought, right, we're cracking on. Something changed, and then I worked in a kind of place that was like predominantly Spurs supporters.
Yeah.
They go, oh yeah, you're only doing well because your fans are toxic. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And you kind of think, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe our fans are turning on the team, and now the club's opened up again, and the people are back. We're having a shitty season, and you think, well, what is it then? The blokes spent 180 million. The fans are back. We're all toxic, and you're thinking,
no, the fans were back last season.
When did it change?
The fans were back last season. We had a great season, so it's not the fans, right? At the drop of a hat, the fans will start singing "We Love Super David Moyes" again. Even if we're bottom of the league, they'll start singing it. We heard what happened at Derby, didn't we? So I can't say in any way that it's been the crowd getting on the team's back, because I ain't witnessed it.
It's going to be the opposition teams are always going to take a cheap shot. That.
I've never seen it though, Lee. I've never seen this season. I've not seen the crowd get on the team's back.
We have been well. To be honest, we are quite a kind of ferocious kind of crowd, but that's one of the things that make West Ham, isn't it? We're kind of like speak our minds. You like get out there, do it, crack on, and if you're not good, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Other teams, when you're not doing well, the other teams will take that as a weakness and then take a poke.
That's it.
But you've got to look at Moyes, man. It's just we've had the chances. We've had the chances there.
How have we ended up in this situation now? Like we've said, I mean, and this is the thing. It's even gone past the point now where I'm going to poke fun at Sullivan if he sacks him for not giving us enough time. I've gone past that, because they have missed opportunities. They missed the World Cup break. They missed the period leading up to the January transfer window and through it. They've missed all that. But I'm past that now. I just want him to do the right fucking thing now. Sullivan, please give us a chance. Get rid of that bloke. Get someone else in. Or don't, and give it to Nolan or anyone. Just get him out. Get him out of the club. It's not working. We need something different, don't we?
I think this is true from Centurion. We're subdued. I think it's true to say that the whole of this season the crowd has been subdued. That's right. Home and away. There's been the odd away performance where the singing's been good, but largely it's been quiet on the road as well as at home. Because it's rubbish to watch. It's rubbish.
Yeah, that was the thing I'm thinking. Like, when the fact that we're losing games on a constant basis, and when you look at the performances, like today, apparently, I don't know, I didn't see the game, but apparently he had one shot on goal.
Well, no, we had 3 shots on goal, one on target.
Right.
Yeah. It was,
Is that great? Is that the foundation of saying this is a manager that's doing the right
I love that,
thing?
Gary. Look. Oh, sorry, mate.
Go on.
Is that the foundation of a team
Fans have been Moyes? Yeah, that's right.
Has he got potential to like win a game or win the next? It doesn't inspire any kind of confidence in the tactics that the bloke is employing. That people have been seeing month after month after month. Is you've got 2 strikers. All right, Ings got this. It could only happen to West Ham where you buy him and then he's injured. But then you've got Skamaka that's constantly not ready. Cornet, nobody's even seen him.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is this bloke doing? He's bought all these players. He's been given all this money.
Yeah.
And the beginning, before we even moved from Upton Park to the London Stadium, the board were getting the raft of everything. Like, you're not supporting us. You're not supporting the team. You're not supporting the club.
Yeah.
They put all this money into him, and we're sitting 3rd from bottom.
I know.
The bloke is ruining it.
And the thing is, right, we're 3rd from bottom. We are just 2 points from the route from the bottom of the league.
Sack him when we go bottom.
Just
are they
2 points from
look at this. Look at this. We've had 4 shots on target in the last 3 games.
See, that's and I'm not even. Do you know something? I believe it. Oh, completely.
Oh, it's painful.
Are they going to sack him when we hit bottom? So. Is that it?
Well, I think
when it's too late.
I know there's a problem.
I think it's fair to say. He's not going to go after today, I don't think. I'll be very surprised, delighted if Sullivan does something. No. But the thing is, if we lose Holmes and Forest, and I've got a very strong feeling we will next week, if we do, he has to go. That's beyond
He's not going to walk. He should just walk. He really should just go.
If he had any self-respect, I mean, we've got Garino here that says this. Now, look, fair enough. The club didn't sack him during the World Cup break. They gave it to Moyes. But you know something? David Moyes, he had 6 weeks with which to because it wasn't working. He had 6 weeks with which to address his own issues, think of a new system, a new shape, work on that, because the majority of the players were available in that World Cup break. He did fuck all. He did nothing. That was negligent.
Well, apparently
that was
he went
negligent.
To Dubai and went on a holiday.
It was negligent what he did there. How on earth he's still here? I don't know, because he smacks of a guy, Gary. When you listen to him in interviews, when you listen to him doing his podcasts, he smacks of a guy that doesn't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
No, I think he's hanging on just for his retirement.
Yeah. I think he's doing one of 2 things.
He's been very well respected in modern football because of 20 years ago when he was manager of Everton.
Yeah.
And I think it suited the West Ham way at the time, where we was a small club with a small budget, and Everton were as well.
Yeah.
And he was consistently keeping Everton in and around that top tier. And then when we was in like dire straits, constantly changing managers, we thought, oh, he's the man. He can take on a small budget and produce big results.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's doing it anymore. All right, people say he's a dinosaur. Maybe. But at the same time, he has been given so many chances. The board have backed him. They've thrown money at him. Pellegrini, they threw money at him. So I don't know where it goes wrong. I do look at the squad as well, where it's aging at the back. We've got old players.
Yeah, I know.
And Moyes doesn't help it with the substitutions.
Leave this up, Gary. Leave this up.
Rama.
Yeah,
you've got Ben Rama, good attacking players, and some Skamaka and Ings, and then you're playing an out for Antonio.
Yeah,
He's not firing, and Moyes still keeps him on the bench, and we lose again.
I know, it's depressing.
So,
I mean, Dabs.
what do we do? Who are we going to blame?
Dabs has just put a question.
Who are we going to blame?
Dabs has just put a question in the chat. Is there anything good that could come out of West Ham getting relegated, like a revamp of the club? I don't think so. I'll be honest.
I can't do that again.
I think it would.
This before.
I think it sets us back 10 years. Personally, I think we end up with a mass clear out.
You
of our
can't do
players.
that again.
We lose them all.
We got away. I think we got away easy when we got relegated before all that really big money started coming into the Premiership, where you had just Man United that had all the big sponsors, but now you've got states like Qatari and all that back in Man City, back in Newcastle. You know, we kind of tried to buy our way to success, and I think we tried it before, and we went down. Somehow we'd done it because we had a really good support at Upton Park when we went down.
But I think
we pulled ourselves out.
I think.
Would we get 60,000 in the Championship?
No, you wouldn't. No. But I think the revamp that people are talking about is kind of and it is. We all think about it. You know, like clear at starting all over again. The trouble is. Yeah. The main issue is top down at West Ham. So while we've still got Sullivan in charge, you know, we would just be building ourselves back up to this point again. We'll never get beyond what we are now with Sullivan in charge. We won't.
You know, the parachute payments stop as well, right? So
yeah, they do.
Stopped. So
they do.
That advantage for 2 years.
Are the parachutes? I think 20 years ago or 10 years ago, parachute payments were pretty, generous.
Yeah.
In the wages that they had then. But now you look at, players that are in the team now, they're on 60, 70,000 pounds and not even getting played. I don't think the parachute payment.
But that makes it even more bizarre, and that's why we're seeing such a reaction down the bottom of that league with all of these clubs that are going, no, fuck this, I'm not falling out of this league. They're sacking managers, they're buying players in January, they're doing all they can to recover, yet we're not. Do you know what? I'm going to say this. It's starting to feel like relegation by design.
Yeah.
It is. It's starting to feel.
There was a part of my head that said, hang on, this is being done on purpose.
It makes no fucking sense. It's starting to feel keeping a guy in a job that can't win a fucking game.
Well, there's always been speculation that Sullivan was, when he was at Birmingham, he kind of kept him going.
Yeah.
Just out of finance. He didn't really care about the club itself. He just I'm going to take something cheap and I'm going to make something out of it and then I'm gone.
Yeah.
And then he kind of attached himself to West Ham when we was in the worst position. We was a lowly club at Upton Park. He sold the club. He sold the ground, made hundreds of millions out of it, moved us into a stadium we didn't apparently want to have.
Yeah.
And then... So, the guy has always had that intention of making money out of stuff.
I think that's why we signed. I think that's why we signed Danny Ings.
I'll tell you what we're going to do, mate. Thank you very much for the call. We're going to take one more call before I close the lines.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Cheers, mate. Thanks very much. Thanks for the call.
Cheers, mate. No worries.
Cheers.
See you
later.
Right. Hang on. Where are we?
Hello.
Hello, mate. You all right?
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm very well. Very well. I think.
Very well. I think.
I can hear myself. Why is that?
I can hear myself. I'll take your volume down.
Oh, right.
Okay, is that better?
That's much better. Thank you very much.
No problem. Nice to get through to you, boys.
Who are we speaking to?
You're talking to Ryan the Iron.
Oh, lovely to talk to you, mate. You all right?
Yeah, Ryan.
Yeah, well, thanks, buddy. Well, apart from watching, I'm in Spain at the moment. I've been watching a game with a Spanish buddy tonight, and he was just as shocked as I was as that second half performance, mate.
It was awful, wasn't it? I mean, we really did. We just didn't react at all, did we? At all in that second half.
No, but those subs, bruv. Why did we buy Ings?
Oh no. Well, Moyes didn't, did he?
Well, I thought it was for championships, but as Kev says here, the wages that he's been brought in on, maybe not. Maybe not.
No.
He's I'm going to swear that he's a stubborn old goat, Moyes, and that's to put it mildly. But when I phoned up, can I tell? I've got a little David Moyes story. I'd like to tell you if that's all right.
Yeah, go on.
Happy days. Well, there's a little bit of a backstory behind it. I won't string it out too much. But I'm a Stratford boy. And my mum and dad, and I was raised in Stratford till sort of 82 maybe. And my mum and dad split up. Now, back in the 60s, and tell me if I'm going on too long with this story.
Hang on.
Back in the 60s, my mum and her Bezzy, when they were young girls, they went to Jersey or the Isle of Wight for a weekend.
Yeah.
And they met a couple of Bristolian boys, right? And one of these Bristolian boys, a geezer called Terry, that many years down the road will turn out he's going to be my stepdad, right? He fell in love with my mum the day he met her. And he went off to Bristol and had his family with his wife. He had 3 kids. And they separated around the same time as my mum and dad. and sort of Terry swooped, really. He kind of swooped and he took us up to outside a place in Bristol called Clevedon.
Okay.
Now, our first day at school in Clevedon, me and my brother Steve, we was wearing our West Ham tracksuits. Because we were skint, we had nothing. Anyway, Terry's a Bristol Rovers fan. Right, I'm going to start wrapping this up now because Terry's a Bristol Rovers fan, and my older brother, he took my older brother under his wing, if you like, and turned into what Rovers are called gasheads. Right?
Yeah.
So I didn't get on with my stepdad, so I thought, well, sod ya. Just to wind him up, I went to follow Bristol City.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just to wind him up. David Moyes played for Bristol City at the time.
Yeah.
Right? And he was teammates with Rob Newman.
Yeah.
Don't know if you knew that.
Yeah. We come across that last
anyway,
few
one
weeks.
day, David Moyes... Yeah, there you go. Right, I'll wrap it up now. So I was about 14, 15, cheeky cockney oik in Bristol, and David Moyes has come out to sign the autographs. And there was a load of kids around, and he signed a few autographs, and he turned around and he went, look, I'm a wee bit busy now. I've not got time to sign all of your autographs. Is that okay? Right, in his Scottish accent. And I turned around to him, and I went, aye, David, that's your key. And he gave me that David Moyes death stare that you've seen him give reporters. Yeah. Right, and I almost filled my pants with cake. Yeah. And he let me get away with it. And lo and behold, sort of after I turned 18, maybe I moved out. And then all of a sudden I was West Ham because I didn't have to be in the house. I could be West Ham again.
Oh, nice.
So that was my David Moyes meeting when he made me almost fill my pants.
Yeah.
I could have pissed out his accent.
Yeah. Fuck him. Fuck Moyes.
Yeah.
What are your how do you think that we resolve this situation then, mate? Well, we know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
We know what's gonna happen, but
I've tried to be as pragmatic as possible.
Yeah.
In my head. But football is meant to be a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't this is almost Allardyce.
It is. It absolutely is.
I mean, it's the percentage. It's the percentages with just crossing the ball pointless. Listen, Emerson. As soon as we signed him, I was like, nah, not having him. And let me tell you, Ben Rama is one of the most overrated players that has ever pulled on that shirt.
Well,
I'll tell you what. I don't see the wingers. Listen, we're going to play it wide, right?
Yeah.
Take a man on. Be brave. But Emerson gets to sort of the edge of the box on his side of the pit, and he'll pass it back. He does what Sterling does. He's one of the most overrated players to ever put on any kind of football shirt, right? And he passes back and passes back. The amount of back passes, I don't see any bravery. Do you know what I mean? I don't see any real men out there. Dex, for me, is still the hammer of the season because of his drive and his willingness to put the effort in. At least the effort is there with Dex. He gets let down by the lack of quality around him. And I heard you brought some other boys saying, we got a good squad. I don't see it. I don't think we've got a great squad. I really don't.
I think we have with the right manager because and playing the right way.
That's a good point.
But when you play the way that we play at the moment, you know, look, for instance, today, we played with, the wide players that you're talking about weren't wingers. They weren't wing backs. They were fullbacks. No. So we was playing with a back five with 3 central defensive midfielders in front of them. What on earth are the forward players supposed to do there? You've got that massive disconnect. It's not conducive to a creative game. We're not creating any fucking chances. I mean, Danny Ings isn't going to score a thing for us.
Yes, but I don't think that is all on Moyes. I obviously, 100% he has to take a massive proportion of the blame. But there's still 11 professional footballers out there who have gone their entire lives, probably from the ages of 8, 9, 10, have been playing the game.
Yeah.
And it's like like with watching Allardyce, it was like you've seen any creativity and any desire to play beautiful, one-touch, brave, attacking football. That doesn't exist. Like, it did exist, and even when we was doing well the last couple of seasons, I felt as though I was kind of seeing through the cracks. I think, the Souček's, the set pieces, it was a bit of an enigma. It was not an enigma. It was just, it wasn't going to last.
No.
Set pieces and all that don't last. So it was papering over the cracks. I don't think we've got that great a squad on paper. I don't think Johnson's that great. I mean, I can't be asked to go through the entire squad, but I don't see it. But I also agree with you, under the correct manager.
Yes.
We've seen certain teams play poorly. A new manager comes in. We're all emotional individuals, aren't we? And something individually can unlock us, can unlock our psyche to make it. Some people in the most outrageous situations can gather the strength to lift a car.
Yeah,
off someone, or something.
But my point is, at the moment, with the way that we play, which is one-dimensional, which is, like I said, it's not conducive to an attacking game. I don't think attacking players are going to flourish. I'm willing to wait until I basically say that certain players are shit and that they're this and that they're that. I'm willing to wait until we've got a new manager in that can potentially get the best out of them, because I don't think it's any coincidence that I mean, look at what Moyes done with Haller. He did nothing. He did nothing with him, and it got rid of him. Cast him aside. Haller goes on.
Which proves your point. Give him a good manager. He goes off to Dortmund. He does the business on the biggest stage. You're absolutely right.
This is what I mean. So I'm not going to give up on any. I think we have some fantastic players. We do. Like you just said, we've got Declan Rice. We know Kurt Zouma is a good centre-back. Aguerd is a fantastic centre-back. Kehrer is a German international, played for PSG, was a top defender in the Bundesliga.
He is awful. Listen,
awful.
For me, Kehrer is pretty woeful.
Yeah, but
he was obviously like the fourth, fifth choice. He is not. He is not all that. He's not. Or at least, can we agree? He is not.
I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up on any player that David. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to. So, even the likes of fucking Thomas Souček. I think we saw that Thomas Souček today was played in a bit more of a natural position for him. He looked better. He was getting forward. He was kind of.
He's not a whelp. He's not a Clark.
No,
he's trying to. I think if Moyes wants to do is get an afro wig and stick it on.
I know he does. No, but the point I'm trying to make is he's not bringing the best out of any individual in that group. He's not.
No, correct.
He's not. So we've got players there that
it's heartbreaking, isn't it? It's heartbreaking to watch.
Paqueta's a wonderful player. A wonderful player. The only reason he's persisted with Paqueta and he ain't binned him
in the right system.
Yeah, but he's only persisted with him and he ain't binned him because he paid 50 million for him and he had to try and get him. He had to try and get that one working. But
it was clear. It's clear that he thought he'd bought a different player, right? He thought he'd bought a number 10 with Paqueta, but he actually hasn't. And he only realised after watching him in the World Cup that he's not a number 10 that he thought he had bought. Which
that's mental.
It's amazing. It's amazing. He should have been sacked on that alone.
It really was. It really was.
If we would have let Moyes go before the World Cup, what would your boys' ideal choice be to replace the man?
Oh God!
Well, back then, I think we would have had more of a choice than we've got now. We might have been able to go after it. I mean, the obvious ones are Tuchel and what's his name, Pochettino, but whether they come to us or not, we would have had a much better chance of getting them when there was plenty of time left in the season.
But for me, if like I say, they should always be on your list. You should always approach them to see if you can get anything, because you don't know. You don't know what the situation is. But it would be the style of manager. So it would have been, Postecoglou, Bielsa, somebody that plays a progressive way, because we've got a group of players that we've got a group of players that play better. I've fucked off with this style of football. I don't want pragmatism anymore. I'm done with it.
Well, to be honest, a couple of weeks ago,
would you have genuinely taken Postecoglou?
Yeah, I would have. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I think we all talked to ourselves.
Over Moyes.
We all convinced ourselves a couple of weeks ago into saying that Dyche would have been a sensible appointment. It got to that point where we would have accepted anybody, right? Even Dyche, even though we didn't want Dyche, right?
Yeah.
I would now in this situation.
I like the man, but I couldn't have handled every press conference. Like, well, we could have played better, lads.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the gravelly voice. I like the gravelly voice, but I think I'd like.
I've got a quick joke for you there. Let me do you a Dyche impression, telling you a joke.
Go on.
All right, lads. What's the goalkeeper's favourite meal?
Go on.
Bees on post.
Very good. Very good.
And you heard about the new West Ham wonder, bro?
No.
Great support, no cups.
Yeah.
Carry on, I interrupted you. Go on, sorry.
No, that's all right, mate. But look, what I will say is, mate, we're going to close the call now because I've got to go and have something to eat. I'm starving.
Yeah,
it's 9 o'clock and I've
not
got any food yet.
Yeah.
But
thanks. 2 hours.
Yeah.
Going over 2 hours. So thanks for everyone for calling in. So we'll let you go, mate, and we'll speak to you again soon. Make sure you phone back in.
Yeah, nice. Well, I always watch your videos, boys, and keep up the good work.
Cheers. Thanks, mate.
Speak soon. Cheers.
Lovely stuff. Okay, well, thank you everyone in the chat tonight. I think, considering the situation, I think it's been relatively settled. It's not been too bad in there. There's not been too many fallouts, has it?
It's been all right. It's been a bit spiky at times, I think, in the chat. But sorry for putting inappropriate comments up and stuff like that from time to time. But where people are having arguments, and I just put a bit of their argument up, because my eyes are rubbish. We need John. John, where are you? You abandoned.
I know. Oh, look, Gary, someone said Nick's off to watch Love Island, so you get to watch that. Apparently,
I'm off to watch Love Island. It's on now. It's on at night.
There's no way I'm watching that.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
But anyway,
at the moment.
Yeah, thank you all for watching. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for participating. And hopefully, look, you don't know, we could wake up tomorrow to some lovely news. Some lovely news. David Moyes has been sacked, and wouldn't we all feel better? We would.
I'd get myself a McDonald's breakfast if that happened.
I know. I know there's probably a couple of callers that I didn't quite get to. I know Black Country, you did phone in, and there's a couple of others as well. I've just been answering calls as they come in, so I've not been selecting them. But yeah, so thanks very much, and we will speak to you all soon.
Come on, you wines.
That's the wrong one. Where's my outro? Here it is.